up, people? We are kind of live, the Heck Podcast. I'm John, this is Chris, and we are here today with Zach.
Hell yeah.
Freaking RAHO, what year was that?
Man, we're digging deep, what, like 2011, maybe?
I think so. Best year of both of our lives, I think. He was the champion. He's the champ.
Still reigning, I believe.
Fucking air hockey extraordinaire over here.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were born with those talents, or is it something that developed over time?
I think you're born with some of the talents, but you definitely have to hone them in.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of pucks to the finger, like.
dude, yeah.
It was a long season. I think my hands were done by the end of it.
I remember people like fucking bleeding on the air hockey.
Lots of ice baths afterwards just for the hands.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, man. Guy, do you remember freaking dude punching a hole in the wall?
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite moment.
Greg. Classic Greg.
Classic Greg, man.
And he was this far from the I-beam.
Oh, yeah, dude.
He was so close to, like, actually destroying his hand.
Oh, my God, dude. That would have been hilarious.
That would have
Holy
been great.
Shit, that would have been so good.
That would have been great.
That was pretty good. I think the game was pretty good. I can't remember who was playing, but it was a pretty good match.
It was a good match.
I remember being like,
and then they had to drywall it afterwards.
That's the thing that sucks about being like an employee of the place that you're doing that. You fuck something up.
And you're like, oh, we gotta fix this before the boss gets here.
I remember like pucks just flying off the table and almost hitting like random people coming out
there. Yeah. Remember Cody got drilled in the head one time spectating?
Yeah. Dude, that's some good shit. That was awesome. But no, I'm going down memory lane here. But beyond that, dude, you're a freaking brewmaster.
I am.
Hell yes. That is so cool,
Just
man.
trying to live the dream.
I mean, it is the dream.
That's the dream. Yeah.
Uh-huh. How do you start brewing? Like, how did you get into this?
So, before we do this, should we have a beer?
Let's fucking do it. I shouldn't be drinking this energy drink right now. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm a little parched from this,
super salty
jerky.
cup of jerky.
Well, let's see what we got here, man. I brought a decent amount of stuff. Let's start with the...
There's a lot of ice. I'm going to give you all play-by-play.
Keep going. We're almost there.
Tons of ice. Let's get a couple of cans out.
I'm throwing ice everywhere, too. Sweet, man. We'll start light. Light and crushable.
Lawn Patrol. American Light Ale. Dude, who does the artwork?
So we actually got a local guy. I'm gonna plug Chris. Heavy color.
Hell yeah.
Down in Florence, Alabama.
Florence, dude, nice.
Florence, so Muscle Shoals,
Yeah, dude.
Trying to live the Shoal sound.
So is that where is that where the brewery is?
Yeah. So Singin'River Brewing Company is where I'm at now. So I've been down there 4 months. This is a new one. The old head brewer actually. This was his little baby.
Yeah.
But he's no longer there, and I just stepped in and I executed.
There you go.
And so I think this is going to be our new little flagship here. So super light, crushable, 5%.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man.
It's like your lawn mowing beer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I can literally see myself like riding on a mower, and just being like,
and just hanging out, and you're like,
yeah,
just
dude.
sipping as you're going.
So
this guy's clearly living the dream.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure, so like, I get here and they're like, we love puns.
Mm-hmm.
So like, a lot of our flagships are like puns off movies or things like that. So I think Lawn Patrol is the reference to Dawn Patrol, I'm pretty sure.
Dawn Patrol?
I think it was an oldie.
Nice.
So that's why the dude's got the little aviator hat on, a little skull, and he's riding his lawnmower around.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, man.
So, thank you. And cheers.
Oh, cheers. Glad to finally be on.
Yeah, dude, likewise. I'm glad to have you, man.
That's good.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to brew something like this?
Anywhere, a general broad range. You're looking you can push one out in 10 days if you want to, but usually 2 to 6 weeks, depending on what style you're gonna do.
So I mean, like the 6-week time period, is that gonna like?
That's more like lagers, and I actually brought a few of those too. But that's just more. It's a cold fermented yeast, so it takes longer to do, and you slowly like drop the temperature down.
Yeah.
So you get that super crisp freshness.
Yeah. There you go. What all? I guess how did you get started there, man?
Just in the industry in general, or here? Yeah. So going to school for chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm. This is not gonna break.
Dude, I'm telling you.
This is some stout jerky.
Wad it up, man. Just go all in.
Break.
But I was going to school for chemical engineering. I think I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
probably around the championship year, you know.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I was, like you said, best year of your life. But I think me and a buddy, we did our first homebrew batch, and we did an extract, and we were like, yo man, if we're gonna do this thing, let's go on and do it like you would.
Yeah.
So we do an all grain. I think I did 2 batches of beer. I reached out to a local brewery, Calf Killer Brewing Company in Sparta, Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Reached out to those guys, said, hey, I'm a chemical engineering student.
Yeah.
Interested in this industry, brewed a little bit, let's see how it goes. So these dudes bring me in.
Yeah.
And
that's cool though, man. That's brassy, dude. I like it.
So they thought they were getting just like
Yeah.
your standard engineer, and then my scraggly ass walks in. And then I'm like, oh hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey dude, we'll see how this thing goes, you know?
Yeah.
And so first intern they ever hired, and then
that's cool.
that turned into 4.5 years.
Hell yeah.
So that was the first introduction that started the love and the industry and everything. I think that's probably the biggest pull that brought me in was the industry.
Yeah.
So it's a big community really. Like no one's, most people are like, there's competition. It's all good competition.
Yeah.
But you're not trying to like put the other guy out of business. You're trying to grow together at the same time,
that's cool.
which is a cool thing.
I know, like that's kind of. I don't know, a breath of fresh air kind of in a lot of industries because everybody is just like so freaking cutthroat and just stupid stuff, man.
I mean,
People are like,
it's terrible in Nashville.
Yeah.
I can't imagine though. Like I've been gone a little over 2 years now, and it's every time I come back, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like,
new buildings, all
new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like everybody has a knife in their hand, just at everybody else's throat.
And like,
they're like,
just to
it's
get ahead.
It's my spot now, my corner.
Yeah.
Well,
dude, but that's awesome though, man. And like, it's crazy that. So you were an intern. Like, how long had you been in college?
I was a sophomore.
So 2 years?
Yeah, I've been in 2 years. Finished the degree, so like did it all the way through school. Then all my friends that graduated went and got their big boy jobs, and I was like, I'm gonna sling packages at FedEx at 3 a.m. and then deliver beer for Calf Killer for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
and I loved the shit out of it.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, you were doing like delivery first, so you kind of like having to work your way into the brewing.
So I actually started out. I was pretty much like the little grunt at the brewery. So I was, cleaning out the mash tun, scrubbing floors, doing kind of like the bitch work.
Yeah.
Like
Charlie work and stuff.
I mean, you got to do the Charlie work before you can. Before you can become Frank, you know?
Yeah.
You don't just step into Frank.
Yeah, you gotta crush some rats, dude. That's what I hear.
But so I did that, man. Then I did like a lot of the kegging for probably about a year and a half, 2 years out of that place.
That's cool.
And then a good friend of mine actually came in, and he was able, my last semester, he stepped into what I was doing, helping out, because he could be there full time, and I was there like 2 or 3 days a week. And then they're like, hey man, you want to deliver beer with Jay? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll see how this goes. And then next thing I know, me and Jay Henry are riding around slinging kegs together and just shooting the shit, having a lot of fun, pounding beers at 3 in the afternoon. You're done, you're like, oh man, cool, like let's crush a pitcher, have a few beers with lunch, just support the brand and bullshit with people,
I mean, dude, it's pretty much like that right there's, on the clock work, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you're a little QC, you gotta make sure everything's tasting good out in the world.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then, went and did a little bit of time at Bridgestone here in Dixon for a little bit.
That's cool.
Did my big boy experience for the degree.
Yeah.
And then got a shot down in Statesboro, Georgia, where I was for 2 years as being the head brewer down there. So went and brewed for a little brew pub down there, and then here we are, man. Now back in Florence, a little closer to home, moving on up in the world a little bit.
Yeah. Is this your first thing as like a brewmaster?
This will be number two.
Sorry.
A brewmaster, head brewer. Tomato.
Yeah, okay, nice.
So, but yeah, I was down at Eagle Creek. I was the only guy down there for pretty much the whole 2 years, and finally got to where I turned that place back around, and then it was like got this offer, and I was like, oh yeah, and I'm like 2 hours from home.
Yeah.
What
is your favorite thing to make, man? Like as far as favorite breed?
I think it's when you get to play around and like do something you haven't done yet. Probably deep down stouts. Stouts are like my favorite type of beer. I love making a good roasty, just deep, bold stout.
You almost have to like cut it with like a knife and like just spread it on some toast. And then
That's right. It was sometimes there's a little coffee. You're like, I could drink this at 8 in the morning. That's no big deal. But yeah, that and then new styles I haven't played with. So I'm actually about to do some sours, which I have some kettle sours that I haven't done, because that's the craze.
Just We're gonna have to
It's
start
like the
making
hardest
like
turkey.
bite-sized pieces.
You are. This is
Wait,
what
did
I
you-
was gonna slobber on it.
It's not coming out.
This is the Heck Podcast Jerky. You can't break it.
Cut that with a knife if you're lucky.
It's unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that should be the name of the like Heck Podcast Jerky, and then it's just unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Like there's no flavor or nothing. It's just unbreakable.
Just straight. Dude, so I guess it's probably not the greatest slice of meat to jerky with, you know. Probably not brisket.
Brisket, no.
Damn it. I wish I would have thought about that. I should have called you sooner.
Probably like flank steak would have been better, maybe.
I
Or like
it's got
a
fatty type.
or like a chuck roast.
I've used sirloin a lot. So I do like
Sirloin would be
sirloin,
good,
but it's
yeah,
expensive, you know. So I guess like I don't know.
It's funny you did brisket. We're actually having brisket at the tailgate tomorrow.
I bet it's gonna
nice.
be better than this.
But it's just gonna be
Just
it's gonna be some smoked brisket, man.
Yeah,
You know, because
yeah.
we're playing Jacoby Burkett or
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
Dude, puns for days, good sir.
We
Hell
gotta
yeah.
do what you
Hell
can.
yeah. Nice. Well, dude, so like being a brewmaster,
Mhm.
how do you feel like can you go back and drink other beers that you maybe grew up on and be like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, why was I drinking this?
Yes, and then also at the same time, sometimes you respect them now.
Yeah.
Because I think the big trend, like especially with these light beers, I think drinkability is coming back. Like
Mhm.
this IPA trend's been pretty heavy, and like
Yeah,
people love
yeah.
IPAs. That's cool. That's not gonna go away, but like now everyone's getting into kettle sours and the heavily fruited beers and
I don't know why, but I love fruited beers, dude. I like ciders.
ciders.
So I guess fruited beer. I don't know if that's the same thing. No, it's not.
a little
Mm,
different. A
Yeah,
little different.
I like ciders though.
Shandy,
Oh, yeah.
shandies are more like
Mhm.
like the summer shandies and
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
lemon, and they have the grapefruit ones
Yeah.
and stuff like
But
that.
yeah, I guess I don't really like fruited beers that much.
And Barry
because-
Weiss.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like ciders. Hard
But
ciders.
yeah, man, I forgot where I was going with this.
Sorry.
You're good. We were talking about fruited beers.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about
Oh.
like you respect another.
Yeah.
beers,
So
like-
now I'm gonna say like, pretty sure the first beer I had was Steel Reserve. So I didn't start out great.
Yeah.
You know, like you probably worked your way up, maybe like some King Cobra or something.
I mean, I don't think anybody really starts out that
Yeah, I
great.
don't either, man.
I'm pretty sure the first taste of beer I ever had, probably shouldn't say this, but I know I was like in single digits,
Yeah.
and it was like a spoonful.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was like, "What are you drinking?" You know,
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
to
definitely
somebody,
had that.
Yeah.
to somebody in your family, you know, and they just give you a spoonful, and I was like, "It's
Yeah.
good," and they're like, "No, it ain't.
Yeah.
You better not say that."
Yeah, don't
you
you
know?
be drinking this.
Yeah.
Dude, I think the first beer I ever got drunk on
Regular
was like
Budweiser. It was regular Budweiser. Because
shit.
I just remember the can. It was like red
Yeah.
and white.
Yeah.
I think ours was like Bush. Bush was my first beer that I got drunk on.
Oh man,
I think.
Bush.
Oh, God.
Bush.
You got drunk
Hell
on
yeah.
the bush.
I got drunk on some Bush, man. I was in
Dude,
high
the
school.
Bush will get you sometimes.
Yeah, I was like freshman in high school, I think,
Yeah.
and my friend's dad had him, and then he was like, he had gone to sleep, and he had like a
That's
party
classic.
house, dude. So he was asleep. We drank all this beer. Freaking, I woke up the next morning to his mom waking me up. His mom was like smoking hot. I'm not gonna name what friend this was, but he knows who he is. His mom's hot. But dude, so like. Everybody's passed out. There's like 12 people here.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, some people brought some stuff because they're like some older people that had some. Dude, good luck. Good
Oh.
luck getting through that.
I'm
Here,
just gonna try
hold
to
on.
do it with my hand.
Just cut it. Just fucking
No, I
slice
got
that
it,
thing in half. But yeah, dude, I wake up. His mom's tapping me on the shoulder. I don't even remember how this happened, and I think somebody set me up, dude, because I don't remember doing this. Does not sound like a me thing.
Yeah.
But like, we're all passed out. I'm on this chair. And I've got a Playboy spread across my chest, and I'm like out of it. And his mom wakes me up. He's like, "Are you?" And then like lifts it up, and she's like, "You okay?" And I was like, "What?" I had no clue what happened. I was like, but I had like Playboys all over me, and I don't know.
So it must have got wild.
I know. I don't remember what happened. I guess I don't really remember falling asleep on that.
I feel like
couch
it's
either.
always bad for you to fall asleep around your friends, because like
yeah, that's
every
probably what
time
happened.
you've fallen asleep that I
Ah,
remember.
fuck yeah, I've done some. dumb
Because you always fall asleep first.
I don't
That's
know
what
why.
it is. It's not. It's not that you just fall asleep with the group.
Yeah.
You're like the first one out, and like everybody
I'm
else
like
is
an
like,
old man. I've always been. I guess.
let's do something.
Yeah, dude. Were you there when I broke David's nose? I fucking broke a dude's nose in my sleep. Because I swing kind of, you know? Like, I get aggravated, but I swing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, dude, I woke up, they were trying to put...
just as soon as you wake up.
I kicked him in his nose. Blood
Damn.
went everywhere, dude. But, like, well, I didn't know. So my first thought whenever I wake up is, like, somebody's trying to attack me. What the fuck, you know? So, like... I was sleeping in my room, and, like, they were at the foot of my bed, putting stuff in my bed, like, and dude tried to put the vacuum cleaner in my bed, so he's like, my foot's, like, right here, and he's like, and does that, I wake up and see a dark figure hovering over me, I'm like, ah! Fucking just leg right up, got him right in his fucking nose, blood went everywhere.
Man.
It was bad. I felt so bad. I was like, what the fuck? What the? Oh, are you okay? I was like, I felt horrible, dude. But, yeah.
But you got the story out of it, though.
Right, yeah. I can't remember what happened at the beach that one time, but I was like, I get so angry in my sleep. I don't know why. I'm like an angry sleeper.
Angry sleeper.
We were just in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And everybody was chilling, and he was passed out in the bed. And I was like, let's just start putting stuff in the bed with him. And we, like, took everything that we could out of the hotel room, like the telephone.
Yeah.
Like, we took the drawers out of the dresser and, like, stacked them up beside him. And, like, he rolled over and, like, hit his arm on one of the drawers or something, and he, like, looked up, like angry, and he was just like... And went back to sleep.
Back.
Yeah.
You're just always on edge. You're ready.
I guess so, man. I guess that's what it is. You know, I don't know, but it feels like it.
So what you're saying is, if like there's a post-apocalyptic world that happens,
Yeah.
you'll be ready.
I'm ready for it if that happens, but until that time, I think assault charges are pending. You know, like I'm probably somewhere in there.
Just don't fall asleep in like a random place. I guess like at the bar or something.
Yeah.
You know, like, someone's like, "Hey man, you gotta wake up." And you're like,
Yeah. Get my flight. Dude, yes. But I don't know, man. Do you ever like? I guess with like I don't know, brewing and stuff. Do you ever go back and like see these beers? Like, do you find yourself judging them more now? Can you drink a normal beer now?
Yeah.
You can.
Oh yeah, you'll find me kind of PBR.
Dude,
I mean,
really?
I mean, like at the end of the day, cost effective.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, like I love the hell out of craft beer, but especially if you're going out, especially going to Nashville, like you're gonna pay $7 for
I know.
a pint. Like, I'm not gonna pay for 6 of those. You know, like
yeah.
I might start out with 2, and then your boy's rolling $2 PBR 16-ounce tall boys. Like,
yeah.
There's a time and a place.
Sometimes
Yeah,
PBR
it's
hits
true.
the spot, though. Like, I've had some, like, PBR that was almost room temperature, and it's kind of nice sometimes.
Oh, dude, PBR's solid. That's like the thing everyone's like, oh, gross. And I'm like, actually, it's really not that bad of a
like
beer.
ice cold PBR, it doesn't do it for me. But if it's like almost room temperature, it's kind of nice.
I just remember getting paid in those, and I would like, I don't know. I guess it just from then on, I just got burned out.
At the Muse,
Yeah.
when we played there, they would pay in PBR and
Like huge 24 cases.
and then
PBR.
ask us if we wanted a bump of cocaine. Like,
yeah,
It's like,
Story
oh
of
yeah,
life.
hey, you want some of this?
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Dude, they come in like a little cigar box. I probably have one somewhere in this
They didn't
room
even
somewhere.
have the PBR in cases. It was like in this
like a little
weird like cardboard thing that they
like,
just brought out like a
cardboard
tray.
tub. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Like a fucking shitload of beers, and then they would give us like at the end of the night, they'd bring like a cigar box to you, and then there would be like cash, and then like metal pipe and some blow, and you'd be like, oh fuck, well.
I'll take the cash.
yeah. Did you give me the cash value of this Coke? I just remember giving it back to the dude the first time and being like, I don't really, nobody in our band.
He's
really
like
does
offended that we turned
I know,
down his
yeah.
offering
Wasn't
of
he like,
drugs.
what's wrong, man?
Coke. Yeah, what the fuck, bro? Are we cool? Are we cool? Are we alright?
It's like the classic scenario that they tell you about in high school whenever they had like the DARE program where
Yeah.
people would like offer you drugs and you would have to just say no. That was the situation that they were talking about.
Yeah.
The only time it's ever happened in my
I
life.
know, yeah. Well, that, we played a show at Springwater. I think it was just like me and Nick doing a like acoustic show or something like that. We played a show at Springwater in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude is like a manager for Christian bands. And he was like, if you ever want to get really fucked up, he was like, go manage a Christian band. Because there's more drugs at those Christian shows than you know. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, so.
It was cocaine and hookers
Yeah.
for Under Oath.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
Nice.
dun. dun.
Nice.
Like every
I-
show. Every show.
I guess I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't know. Well, yeah, dude, you're
Yeah.
in metal, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then As I Lay Dying was steroids.
Yeah, that dude got yoked pretty quick.
He did, man.
He just
did.
blew up all of a sudden. And then he tried to put a hit on his wife or something.
Yeah.
And now he's out of prison and he's back.
Dude, he's doing good though. He's doing good.
Yeah.
I like his stuff. And they just came out with a new album. I'm like,
I just can't.
As I Lay Dying or
Yeah.
Austrian Death Machine? Because that was always that was the real one right there.
That was the shit.
I just can't take him seriously though.
Yeah.
Ever since I heard that, like, when he was in
Man
prison,
boobs.
he got man boobs. And
Yeah.
What?
He got man boobs and like
Mhm.
attempted suicide or something because he's like, because he was coming off of the roids, you know, and his brain was all screwed up. I
Dude.
just can't take him.
Yeah, I
seriously.
can't. Yeah, whenever I read that and he was talking about like, because he's suing the county that held him in jail or prison or whatever because they didn't help him get off his steroids. Like, apparently there's supposed to be like a detox
It's
whenever
like a
you get into certain
medical
things.
yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't like
Help him.
Yeah, and so like he got man tits, like legit man boobs.
It's like Bob from freaking Fight Club.
Yeah,
yeah.
Bob had bitch tits.
Bob had bitch did Bob. But dude, yes, I don't know. I can't like take. it
Austrian
seriously,
Death
but-
Machine was awesome though.
They were great.
Mhm.
They were definitely the underrated project out of that.
Oh yeah, dude. I wonder if he made more money doing that than he did in As I Lay Dying. Because I don't think he had to split it with as many people. I wonder if he made a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know more people that know of Austria Death Machine though.
Then because As I Lay Dying pretty much like just fell off the face of the
Yeah,
earth.
yeah.
Once
yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
I talked about with one of my friends doing a project based on Sylvester Stallone,
Mhm.
and
Just-
I know specifically there was one song called Balboa Constrictor,
Yeah.
but that's the only one we got through.
Hell yeah, dude. He's got the new Rambo movie
Yeah,
coming out,
yeah,
and
man.
I'm like, dude.
The first trailer that dropped, it had Old Town Road playing. in the
It
background.
did. I was like,
I don't know if I could take this
I
seriously.
know. I couldn't either. But and then he's out there mowing people down with freaking 50 cows, and I'm like, oh.
I mean, it is Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is he like? Almost 70 now?
He's past 70.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I
Are you
think he
serious?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like
Can-
he's 72, something like that. That's insane.
Picture your grandparents. Can you picture them just mowing somebody down with 50 cow
No.
in their current state?
No.
I can't even.
Maybe my granddad.
I was gonna say I wouldn't put it past my granddad, but like
Yeah.
actively no.
Mm.
Or that dude, I don't know, my granddad, he's like ride a bike for 12 miles every day.
Are you
I'm-
serious?
Yeah, he's like
Hell
80,
yeah,
he's like
dude.
82. And he's like, yeah, I ride 12 miles a day. And I'm like,
Dude, that guy's gonna outlive us.
yeah, I was like,
no shit.
I was like, yo, I can't.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky if I rode a mile
I can't
without
even,
dying.
I can't
Yeah.
even run
Yeah.
a mile in my head. Alright.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. There's a guy that's one of my customers or whatever, and he does like the triathlons, the bike swimming and
Yeah.
stuff. But he's like 60-something years old. I'm like, dude, if you're me in the future, then I'm doing all right. Like
Do
that
you-
guy's gonna live forever.
Do you feel like that stuff like that happens whenever you hit a certain age?
Like you start.
Because like I
getting
feel
more
like
active
there's
and
certain
shit.
old people that probably just didn't do anything like their entire life.
Yeah.
And then all of a
they,
sudden
they hit a certain age and they're like, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
And then they're just like they have
it's
this
like a
it's
third
this-
life crisis, like 3/4
yeah,
life
it's like this
crisis.
crazy it's like this crazy old man stamina that they get
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you just don't have whenever you're younger. But as soon as your hair turns white, it's like your
go time. Like extra
yeah, your
Yeah.
body changes
It could be that.
and you
dude.
can just walk,
Yeah.
not stopping.
There's a guy.
you got to power walk.
Yeah.
You gotta get the arms into it.
Yeah.
I
And,
wonder
like,
if there's a
listen,
power
yeah.
swim though.
Oh,
Like
I
they,
don't
they
know.
power
Like,
walk
angry.
and
like
the
in
water
the
comes
water?
up and they power swim.
Dude, I don't know.
They're
That
still
guy's
wearing
like-
like the long socks in the water.
Yeah. Every time I like go over to that dude's house to work on something, like he's not there yet, and his wife's like, "Oh yeah, he's out on the bike. He's probably doing like I don't know, 20 miles." I'm like, "Holy shit, old guy!" And then
More
he comes
power
back.
to him, man.
He ain't even fucking sweating when he comes back. I'm like, "What have you been doing?" He's probably banging somebody. That's probably what it is. He's just out there hitting it. I don't know.
Anyways.
Sorry guys, Viagra is a powerful drug, but
That's what it is. That's the secret.
That's
It's
the
not
secret.
anything to do with any other thing that we just discussed.
It's
It's
just
the
the
Viagra,
Viagra.
the power of the Viagra.
yeah.
They have to expend that extra energy.
Mhm.
I
Boom.
guess
Yeah,
if
no.
not, do you get the erection lasting longer than 3 hours?
That could be
Is
it.
that the
Can you
thing? They're
imagine?
like, they're just like, oh god, like I gotta ride for 20 miles. Get all this fuel out. Like
They're trying to get rid of
old
it.
dudes from now on when I see an old dude running, I'm like trying to pay more attention. Is he got a boner? He's trying to run that thing off, dude.
Really, they probably just have to take a piss really bad, and they're like, I can't piss with this boner, and they just
That's
have to
right.
run
Chicks
it off.
don't realize
They
like
have to run
that.
it off.
Anytime women are like, oh, you don't understand what it's like to be on my period, or be on a period, you don't know the pain. Try to piss with a boat in the morning, and you gotta find that awkward angle if you're gonna do something. Like, work with that, and that shit can be in every morning of your life, ever. You got 1 week, cool. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe not. But
That's gonna upset a lot of people.
sorry, but women try to pee with a boner. It's pretty hard.
We've officially became like a non, like we're on the feminist list
Yeah.
to assassinate now.
Probably. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I feel like that's, if not on par, it's definitely somewhere in there. It's teetering that tot back on our way over here. I don't know. But
That's the beer talk.
yeah, I'm like half a beer in.
Lawn
Three-quarters
patrol.
of a beer in. Yeah.
John's already-
5% right to the dome.
Dude, seriously, there's something about beer sometimes that'll get you quicker for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. You're just saying like compared to liquor. I guess
Yeah.
it's like it takes longer. I don't know if it's an absorption thing.
Yeah.
Or what?
'Cause,
But
like-
the liquor, you have the thing where it's like, I think it's because you drink it slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like liquor is like you can pound a few
You're like,
shots and then you gotta wait for it to like
Yeah,
kick
yeah.
in, and then all of a sudden you hit the wall and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
But there's been some times where I've just gone to a bar and like had like one beer and I'm like sitting there like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't normally do this, but who won? Cerrone just fought Donald Cerrone or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't know who won that fight, but he just said you missed a crazy guillotine finish Peruvian necktie choke, which I have not even seen that. I don't
Cerrone.
think. And you think so?
I don't think Gagey has the submission skills for that shit.
I don't either.
Donald Cerrone is a
And I don't
submission
see
expert.
Cerrone like losing by submission either. To Gaethje.
Cerrone is a submission
Do
expert.
you watch any UFC?
Like a little
little
bit.
bit. Yeah.
I don't watch a ton of it, but
Yeah.
I do like Donald Cerrone.
Dude, he's just a boss.
I mean, I
Because he
don't
just
know.
picks up any fight, right? He was
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Dude, they're like, hey, you want to fight this guy? He's like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like
2 weeks? No worries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I think what's going to end up happening with him after this, if he just won that fight, I think he's going to end up fighting Conor.
I want that
By
to
the end of the
happen
year.
so freaking bad.
I think
Conor
that's gonna
McGregor
happen.
versus
You think he'll
Donald
come back?
Cerrone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Connor's wanting to. Like, he's
Yeah.
just out now doing, like,
I mean, he's
videos
just,
everywhere. Just being like,
punching old dudes in bars. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's just looking for a fight. The UFC won't let me fight. Drink my whiskey or I'll kill you. I don't know, man. Here's what's happening. Dude, but, hell, man. I don't know. I think that's, like, I freaking like this.
Thanks, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'm
man.
a huge fan of beer. I never thought I would be though. It's one of those things that
It definitely grows on you.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you go back to, like, when you start out, like, I think that was my
Yeah.
first thought. I was like, how the fuck does my dad drink
Right.
this every day?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like,
exactly.
this tastes terrible.
Yeah.
Fucking rough. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was something. And it was
Mhm.
just like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
like this now.
I feel like it like hits a point to where you're either like at a party or something and you've drank like a ton of liquor and you're just like blasted and you pass out and then you wake up the next day or something and then you have like a certain beer and you're just like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Hair of the Dog kicks in.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, now I understand.
Well, like, my uncle, whenever I was a kid, we were out on a boat, and he was telling me, because, like, he had packed a cooler. Well, guess what? He's got 2 little 12-year-old kids, like his son and me, on the boat with him, and we're out deep sea fishing. And all he packed was fucking beer, the whole thing, like, no fucking water, nothing. And we're
Classic
like,
uncle.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, dude,
Such
that's
a
like
shit.
what a
Classic
classic
uncle story.
Fucking Uncle Charlie. But
He even has an uncle name.
dude, that guy was cool as shit, man. But so like we're out there and he was like, oh, you want a drink? Just grab some out of the cooler. Like going there, we're like, there's only beer. He's like, yeah, y'all have one, whatever. I mean, we're out here in the ocean. It's okay, international waters. I was like, okay, cool. All right. So we're like trying to drink it. It's fucking like we're 12. We're like, oh, I can't stand this. How do you drink it? And he was like, my first beer that I ever liked. He was like, whenever I was a kid, I couldn't stand it either. He was like, but then he told us something like it was hot summer day and there was nothing else to drink but beer. And that was the best tasting beer I ever had. And he like just started drinking after that. And
That
now-
reminds me of my story. I think this was whenever I really started liking beer.
Mhm.
I remember it now because it was a very hot day.
Yeah.
It was like the middle of August. I was working at this factory called Electrolux in Springfield,
Mhm.
and they made ovens, like
So it was toasty.
Yeah, like in that
Yeah.
factory, it was probably over 110 degrees.
Yeah, man.
And so
That's
like
fair.
you get off, I got off work and like went back to the house and like there was like some Samuel Adams. It was like some sort of something cherry. But either way.
Yeah.
Samuel Adams. Cheers.
But they had that and some honey roasted peanuts, and I sat on the front porch in my boxers with Samuel Adams.
Wait, at
and-
this.
No, at the house.
Oh, I was like, what the
So you
fuck,
got
bro?
off.
I got off work.
Yeah, you take that break. You're
He's like
serious,
gets
dude.
on break and
I'm
he's
like,
like, what? Oh,
Fuck
God.
it. No uniforms for
Gotta let
break.
it hang, man.
Yeah, hell
You're
yeah.
like, it's
But-
so much better in this 90-degree weather outside, not the 110 inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that tasting so good
Yeah.
That is,
after work.
yeah. I just feel like usually the first beer of the day especially is like the
Mhm.
most, that's the most gratifying
Yeah.
beer. Because you're like,
Yeah.
it's like, I've earned this for one, and two, like, the refreshment level
Yeah,
is maximum.
Hell yeah. Whenever it
The
hits your
earning
gut.
thing is a real thing. You
It
feel
is.
like you've earned it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I've earned
I can
this.
reward myself.
Yeah.
Then the other ones are just pure pleasure. Like, the first beer's
The rest
reward.
is chill.
Yeah.
You just chill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Mm.
Well, dude, so like, can you kind of walk people through
Yeah.
the brewing process, like, for something like this?
Of course.
I'm not saying give us your secret sauce.
I mean, I can give the whole overlay of the process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab another beer though.
Yeah, do it, man.
Are you-
What do you
I was
got?
about to
What,
say.
So
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
brought a Oktoberfest, the IPA, the flagship IPA, and then a porter, and then two fun little pilot beers
Oh yeah.
that we can pound later.
All right, man. I'm down
It's up to
whatever.
you guys.
You-
I figured we'd roll Oktoberfest next probably.
Yeah.
We'll just ride the train down.
There you go, man.
Well, I'm a fan of
Can you like what your the Oktoberfest? You want to tell us kind of like what
Yeah. So this beer was a traditional Oktoberfest, so it was lagered. So that was one of those 6-week ones.
Mhm.
Actually, this beer is the first lager I've ever done. I've
Oh,
never
yeah?
had a chance to do one. And,
Nice.
now I've cranked out a few here at the new spot.
Hell yeah. Very October looking.
Yeah, the can is super festive.
Hell yeah.
But so we
Frosty.
yeah, it's a pretty simple beer, man. Just all Munich malt, just traditional German noble hops. So noble hops are like usually pretty earthy, spicy, not like a high alpha acid, so they're not going to contribute a whole lot of bitterness or anything to the
Yeah.
beer. So it should just be like kind of this nice like real light, easy, kind of biscuity a little bit, not super biscuity.
Yeah.
But just a good, easy drink. It's an easy drink at 6% too.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little beefier. But
This can makes me
Florence,
feel good.
Alabama.
I like this can.
it's super fall feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I saw when we got
Yeah.
them in, I was like,
It's kind of like
Do
a
you like-
sunset on the
Yeah.
river or some shit.
and
Like,
so-
I mean, it looks...
yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be because Florence, the Tennessee River runs right between that and Muscle
Mhm.
Shoals. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I guess that's hence the name Singing River. Cause
Yeah.
It's I guess that's what they call the Tennessee River down there.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, it's the Singing River down there. So.
I have a feeling this might be one of my favorite podcasts we've done. I'm such a huge fan of beer.
Dude,
hell yeah.
This is awesome.
I like drinking them one after the next like that because you can really get the difference in the
You
taste.
do.
And I like this a lot, dude.
It's definitely an easy beer.
Yeah.
It was super fun and it was like
It's very smooth.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess we can start with the process. Man.
Yeah.
So we start out with a mash. So we'll have our grains.
Mhm.
You'll build your grain bill first, really, and that's like your initial recipe. So you'll take a base malt, and then you'll add a little bit of adjunct grains and this and that, depending on what style you're going for, to kind of complement the beer. Go for a certain flavor profile you're wanting. So like with this beer, like I said, it was all Munich malt. That was just one type of malt in there, and that was it.
Yeah.
So when you grind the grains too, your grains come in like kernels like this. So when you grind them, you just want to break the husk open so you can get to the grist on the inside,
Mhm.
and then you leave the husk kind of intact, so it'll actually provide as a secondary filtration layer
That's cool.
in the mash later on because you have a false bottom in the mash tun.
Mhm.
But so like I said, this beer's one. This beer's pretty much like all one base malt, a little bit of extra things thrown in. You've got different grains for different things. You got your standard base malts. So all these malts contribute your initial sugar content in the very beginning,
Mhm.
and that's going to help you achieve your alcohol percentage later
Mhm.
on down the road. Then you got so you can take with an IPA, for instance, you can take like a Pilsner base malt or a Pale Ale base malt, and then add so let's say you did Pilsner, you add a little Pale in there, and then you
Yeah.
go, I'm gonna throw some of this Vienna to create like a little sharpness, like
Yeah.
kind of biscuity note on of it, and then I'm gonna hop it with this hop to pull this certain like aromatic flavor out of it or give it a certain bitterness. So you have all these different layers that go in. Stouts, like you'll throw in these dark roasted. So I guess I don't know a ton about like the whole kilning process of grain, but they roast them at different levels. So like there'll be different color contents, different levels, different types of barley, and things like that. So the darker chocolate ones, they roast them way longer, and they get this real like deep roasty chocolate.
Is it like an acidic almost? Like
It's kind of reminds me of like coffee.
It's a lot like coffee.
Because they have like, you know, the mild or medium and then like the like bold or whatever.
And like a lot of that's bean dependent. I've actually learned a lot about coffee. Like
Hell yeah.
since being in the brewing
Probably
industry,
very
too.
similar.
Like, it kind of is. It's funny. That's kind of like coffee's one of those things too. It's kind of like you have it down to a certain science, but there's a little bit of this freedom in there that where it fluctuates. So you're like, I can get it in this realm. But like sometimes one roast is a little better than the other one. So
nice.
I saw this thing the other day, like on like Bizarre Foods or something like that, how they do the like the two-tier coffee, like a traditional coffee style. I think it's like a French thing or whatever, but it's like boiling water and they got a flame underneath it or whatever, and then there's that tube and another thing right here that acts as a filter, and it kind of like, I can't remember exactly how he did it, but they put coffee grinds up here, and then like whenever the water's boiling, all the vapors go up into the second little tunnel, and then it sucks all the stuff back down and like filters it back into the, like whenever you cut the flame
so
off.
it like recondenses? It like condenses it all up top and then just drops back down?
Yeah, like as soon as you turn the flame off and it stops boiling and stuff like that, all that heat and the pressure and stuff just allows it to sink back through, but it like filters on its way back down or whatever, and then it's like pure form of coffee or something.
That's cool as hell, man.
It looked pretty
Coffee's like a lot more intricate than like I ever anticipated.
Yeah.
I still get a little nervous going into like Starbucks though, because they got like the weird like names for sizes. They're like, wait, what is a large? Like a vin. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll take a grande. And they're like, that's a medium, and I was like, why doesn't it make any sense? Grande's large. Like, what's going on here?
And then usually rules.
And I don't know like all the specialty stuff. It's just like, I'm like, give me your darkest roast. That's like.
Do you like dark coffee?
I like dark coffee.
Dude, well then like, I guess so. You do like Starbucks coffee then, right? It's kind of like one of those Dunkin' Starbucks type feuds that are going on right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's a huge thing going on, man.
I honestly don't really like coffee like bought at stores like that. I like making my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a little more control over how it tastes.
Yeah, you definitely do. I like more if I can like buy the beans from someone who's roasting them locally. Like try to do that. Like
that's cool.
I just got a grinder.
Oh yeah.
From like my parents had one and they never used it, so I was like, can I have it?
Yeah.
And like I ground up my own beans and stuff.
That's when the coffee gets a lot better.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Then you're like in Statesboro, I was actually like working with there was a dude right down the road that had a coffee shop, and like I make beers with the coffee.
That's
so
cool.
he was always like,
hell yeah.
plug Cool Beans. If you guys are in Statesboro, Georgia, for whatever
Cool
reason,
Beans,
go to
dude.
Cool Beans. See
Hell
David.
yeah. Cool Beans.
But dude, he would just keep me like stocked with coffee.
Yeah.
Like I was like, cause I had him to throw in beers and stuff all the time, and like that's where I started to learn about the different beans and how you roast them, and like these different tiers of like certain heat will bring out more dark roast compared to this. Yeah, but I was jamming coffee.
Hell yeah. So you're pretty wired while you're back there, like
some days, yeah.
Hell yeah. But do you drink it just black, or are you like a purist like that, or you do
I like it just black, personally.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
We were talking about this the other day. Like,
yeah, I just watched Roadhouse for like the 30,000th time because it's on Netflix. And I was like, I gotta watch it. But he drinks black coffee.
this is so smooth, by the way.
Yeah, it's very
this.
smooth.
Man.
It's very
It's
smooth.
very good.
But
This is season 2.
Hell yeah.
yeah. Patrick Swayze's character drinks black coffee,
Mhm.
and then like there's other movies out there where like I'll have coffee black.
Yeah,
And it's
like
you
every
got
detective ever
Yeah.
drinks black
I was
coffee.
like, you gotta be a badass to drink black coffee, because like personally I just can't do it. I have
It's
to
a
have
hard one,
cream
man.
sugar with my coffee.
Yeah. Well, I started doing intermittent fasting, and
Uh-huh.
like you can do just water and black coffee is all you can have in that fasting period. And I was like, well, and they say that black coffee is like a diuretic, helps you like an appetite suppressant. So I was like,
It definitely is.
yeah. So I was like, I'll just fucking try that. I'll try some of black coffee, and like it's hard for sure for me to drink
Yeah.
at least. Can you just like drink just a whole thing of this? Just like sip it like it's nothing?
Slam it. I usually try to make mine like a little stronger too. Just like that's my personal preference.
Dude.
I don't know if it's one of those things like that's how my dad always was. So it was something that stuck.
Yeah.
And then Calf Killer, they roasted their own coffee, and every time Don would make it, he was just like he would make it just like real thick, like because it was just so much like coffee grounds in there. And you would just be like almost like you're just like
Yeah, it's like you're drinking peanut butter.
That's like
pretty much.
That's like my freaking pawpaw. I swear, like he would stick a spoon in it, and the spoon would be like sticking straight. Be
it was like syrup, pretty much.
You want some coffee, boy?
Oh, yeah.
Spoon sticking out. I'm like, nah.
But I don't know, like that's one reason that I'm not a huge fan of Starbucks coffee, and my brother actually was telling me this too, because like I really can't really get into Starbucks that much. I don't know why, but he was telling me, he was like, dude, they burn their beans for a little bit longer, like they kind of scorch their beans, and it tastes like burnt beans, dude. I don't know.
Scorch their freaking
Scorching
beans.
the beans,
Scorching
bro.
the
I don't
beans.
know. I don't know what their process really is, but it tastes like burnt beans, dude. Like
maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee from there as often.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not against cream or sugar. I guess I know I like black coffee, so I'm always just like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Like
Yeah, I mean, like, why even add the other stuff? Well, can you, like, so if you just drink black coffee, you ever drink coffee, like, that has the flavor, like, a hazelnut or something like that already in it?
I'm not against that.
That's,
Usually whatever's around.
yeah.
it's like depending on how I feel in the morning too. I'm like, oh man, I really need this cup of coffee this morning. Like, keep rolling.
There's this
Right
stuff-
now it's been hot. Like iced coffee's been a big
Yeah.
because it's so damn hot out.
Dude, your iced coffee and black?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's next level stuff.
But it's actually like it's not near as bitter
Really?
because like I think when you cold brew
ice.
them,
Yeah.
you actually don't get that scorched flavor
Mhm.
out of the
Huh.
bean. I think you just usually let it steep in your water for like 24 hours or something,
Yeah.
and then they just filter it right out.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
You can do it like overnight.
Yeah. So maybe you should try
I might
black
try that,
iced
dude.
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's pretty good
I can
drinking at
drink
night, too.
black coffee, but it's just like, I can't just drink it like as quick as I would drink this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like, yeah. But like, iced coffee, like I'll drink cream and sugar or something like that, and iced coffee, and I'll just fucking down the whole thing up to like a huge cup. And I'm just like,
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I drink that like every single morning, dude. Iced
Hell
coffee,
yeah.
cream and sugar.
That's
I
the
don't
only
know
thing
why.
with like hot coffee. You've got that like 10-minute window
Yeah.
of like perfect temp.
Yeah.
Because like I'll usually always try and I'm like, oh, this is too much.
You just scald yourself
And then
for
you
a second.
you come back and then you're like, all right, I got 10 minutes. To
Yeah.
drink this
Yeah.
before it's like cold.
Yeah.
Which I'm not against that either.
Yeah.
Compound coffee.
Yeah. I try not to. But man, these fucking energy drinks, dude. Holy
What is
shit.
this?
Oh my god. It's called 3D, but dude, did you ever eat those bomb pops as a kid? They
I
look
mean,
like
it
this.
looks like one.
It tastes
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a bomb
Does
pop.
it?
Like, tastes legit like a fucking bomb pop, dude.
Hell yeah.
I know, I ended up having to buy some more of those today. I was like, holy shit. So I
Where'd that come
messaged
from?
these guys to see if I can get them for free.
Oh, nice.
GNC. But,
Hell yeah.
they're pretty legit, dude.
3D.
Yeah, it literally tastes just like, I mean, I don't know if you have a thing with drinking after people, but it tastes like bomb pops, dude.
I don't know if there's like a brewer that does.
Right?
It's like that's usually a thing in a brewery. It's like you'll have
Taste
one cup
it.
and you're like, oh yeah, man, that's good. And you just like pass it around to everyone that's working.
Tastes just like them, dude.
Whoa.
Really sweet.
It
And right
does.
after drinking that, too, you want to try this? No? You good? All right, man. But yeah, it tastes like
It does.
tastes like bomb pops.
Yeah, pretty much just melted one down and
Yeah.
ready
Yeah,
to roll.
and then too, like the thing I like about it is a lot of energy drinks now are just fucking packing caffeine, and they're like 300, 350 milligrams,
Yeah.
whatever we can put in there in this little bottle. But this only has like 200 milligrams, so it's not too much. It's like 2.5 cups of coffee, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's like the sweet spot.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
me, like 4 to 5 is where I start to get
Yeah.
like things start to slow a little bit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You kind of get to the
you getting the shakes.
that big be an Eagle Creek, man. I just like in my head that was the noise I'd make, and I would just be walking back and forth, just like running.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, so like, you were talking about like putting a lot of coffee grounds in your beer. What type of beer has the coffee in it? Like,
So a lot of people like to do stouts, porters, darker beers.
Mhm.
I do like to do that, but I also like to put them in like some lighter beers. Like
yeah.
I've done a few coffee pale ales.
I feel like that's a little bit unexplored territory for a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's like usually people see coffee and they think dark, and then they're like,
Mhm.
"Why is
Yeah.
the beer light?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Haha." Like I like to do that too. It's like,
Yeah,
"Gotcha,"
yeah.
and try it. And then like I'm a big subtle flavor guy. Like when it
Yeah.
comes to beer, so like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I might throw all this cool weird stuff into a beer, but I want it to be a beer at the end of the day. I don't want it to be.
Like some type of
Yeah.
yes.
But,
like,
But like you know, everyone's, like I said, the heavily fruited or the kettle sours. Like, everyone's pretty much, I mean, sours are sours. If you can do, like, an old style sour, like, you can have a little more flavor from certain things. But, like, oh, yeah, we're dropping 5 gallons of fruit puree in per barrel, you know, like, which you got a 10-barrel batch, you're doing, like,
holy shit.
50, like,
Yeah.
it's, like, insane. So they're, like, heavily fruited. It tastes, like, pretty much like fruit juice now. Like, it's not beer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. But it's kind of like, it's kind of helped bridge that gap for people who aren't super beer fans. They can kind of, like, budge into the territory, which is cool. But, no, I'm a subtle guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like, what would you say is, like, the flavors of this?
This one?
Yeah.
I would say pretty mellow. Like, mellow flavors, kind of, like, light. It's not super, like, a little malty.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, kind of, like, sweet maltiness on there.
Yeah.
You kind of get not a ton of hot presence at all. It's pretty smooth. Not a ton of bitterness or anything, but, yeah, I would say more nice, light, malty.
There's some floral at the end that's really nice. Kind of like a floral-y at the very end. I like it.
Dude, we're going straight on wine connoisseurs over here.
That's right. We're going to pull out the fancy glasses.
Hell yeah. Fancy red glasses over there.
Swirl them.
Yeah, and then just spit it back in the cup. Dude.
No, we don't do that. I don't know how I feel about that.
I know, like, what's up with that?
Why are we going to waste that? I guess so you don't get hammered because it's wine. It's like,
what's the alcohol content of most wine?
I'm guessing, like, if they had, like, wine judging, you know, and you were drinking them the whole time,
they might
by the time you got to, like, the third glass, you're like, this is the best shit I've ever had in my life. And everything after that is 10, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. You go to a beer festival and, like, they give you these teeny glasses, and they usually say, like, give an ounce pour, maybe 2 ounce pours. So you get a little, like, a sip or two of beer.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, come on, man, I paid $60 to get into this festival.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, let's say there's 30 breweries. Every brewery has 2 beers. There's 60 beers to try. You try all 60 at an ounce. You're still hammered. That's the thing. You're like, you don't know, and then all of a sudden, that's one of those things where you're saying, like, sometimes this hits you differently than liquor.
Yeah.
And that'll be like a wall thing. You'll just be pounding with little tasters.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like,
wait.
Oh, man, when did this happen?
If you sit down once and then you stand back up,
you're
done.
You too.
Dude, I swear to God, the only times I've really been, like, schmammered is whenever I've been sitting down drinking and then stood up. And I've just, wait a second. What just happened?
Always when you gotta break the seal, too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
ever... Oh, God.
There was a party I went to one time, and I can't remember where it was at, but there was a guy, and he had this bottle of Golden Grain 110 proof, like, alcohol. I mean, it's just like ethanol.
It's pretty much like Everclear.
Yeah, basically.
Dude, that shit was rough.
He was like,
it had the fucking filter on the top of it to keep it from lighting on fire.
I never had Golden Grain before, and he was like, you want some Golden Grain? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I was sitting on the couch, and he was, like, up here, and he, like, handed it down to me, and I was like, took it, and I was like, it's not so bad. And then I, like, went to stand up, and I was like, oh, and sat back down.
Yeah.
It's like drinking moonshine, you know?
Yeah.
That always gets you.
Legitimate moonshine? You don't even know.
I got a friend that makes it actually here, and he made some. I think it was like 160 proof. It was fucking strong. It might have been more than that, honestly, because, like, you know how most of the times people are like, oh, just try this. You take a sip. Well, like, they were like, this is fucking, like, this is stout. And everybody around me was, like, acting like it was some tough shit. So I was like, I'm gonna punk these dudes out and take a fucking double shot. So I, like, just took a swig of it, right? And, I mean, I'm mouthful.
Yeah.
And I've got a fucking big mouth, dude. So, like, I took a big old gulp of this shit and gave it back to him. Drank it down. I was like, yeah, I mean, it burned, dude. It was rough going down. But I, like, didn't cough, no coughing. Just like, that's not bad, dude. It's not bad. I went to go sit down, and, dude, literally, that was the quickest I've ever been buzzed in my whole fucking life. I was like, from walking from you to me, I felt it. And I was like, whew.
That stuff will that'll warm the whole body.
It warms the soul.
It does.
It's fucking rough, dude. But
sometimes it tastes like a little kerosene.
Yeah. But they, like, the people that have it or whatever, like, cut it a lot with, like, different Kool-Aids and stuff. And they'll, like, boil hot water and, like, do the Kool-Aid mix and stuff and, like, mix it in there. So they'll have, like, watermelon moonshine that's fucking delicious. They did an apple pie moonshine, like, a few months ago.
They do, like, the cinnamon sticks and everything in there? Or
Yeah, it's fucking delicious, dude.
I remember in my party group back in the day, like, we made this drink called Ninja.
Dun, dun,
and the reason we called it that is because it would sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And it was basically there's this clear version of like strawberry kiwi Kool-Aid, but it was clear.
Yeah.
And like we would put tons of vodka in it because
Yeah.
vodka's clear also. So it was this clear drink that looks like water.
Yeah. Nice.
And like if you drink enough of it, like it'll just sneak right up on you. Like you would be like, man, I don't feel this. Drinking it because you couldn't taste the alcohol.
Yeah.
We put so much Kool-Aid in it.
I think there's one thing that's funny nowadays. Like people don't realize this, but there's still like a shitload of moonshiners out there. Like a lot of them, and they're running moonshine. Like I know a dude that gets paid like I can't remember how much money he was saying, like $2,000 or something like that a weekend for running it. And I was like,
Jesus,
that's fucking legit, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a thing like.
Yeah.
That'll always be there because like they have all these regulations on like what your alcohol content can be, and like legal moonshine is never. To me, it's still never as good as like.
The
backwoods stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
No shit. All these moonshine distilleries up in like fucking Gatlinburg. And
Yeah,
stuff.
like Old Smoky.
Yeah, dude, but
Popcorn
they do
something.
like those mason jars full. Like if you buy one from up there in Gatlinburg, if you buy a Smoky Mountain one like that, it'll probably get you drunk for a while, right? But with real moonshine from people that are making that shit in the backyard, cut that. Like you could turn this little guy into a fucking gallon, and you're still gonna be hammered on that for like a long time.
And like you said, that's the stuff you take a sip or two, and then you're like.
Yeah, you're good for the night.
Like let me let that sink in.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we revisit it.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely been there where someone's like, oh yeah, here, and you're like, yeah, and then you do it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep sitting here for a little longer.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like people I don't think like, especially if you're a casual drinker or something, you're not really like expecting that much that quick, like to get fucked up that quickly on something so small. Like even if you drink 151, it's like another ball game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. Do you so you were talking about you and your friend in college did like your first batch. Do you remember what you made?
I'm pretty sure the first batch was we got a clone recipe offline, and it was a Fat Tire clone.
Oh, nice.
And it was close. I think that was like we had it, and it was close to Fat Tire. It just tasted a little off. That was the extract batch. And then the next time that's when we were like, "Fuck, dude, let's just go all in and do this all grain thing."
What did you do? How did you do the all grain? Like,
so we pretty much took like kind of like a Coleman cooler like this, but you know they usually have the spouts on the bottom. We had pulled that out and taken like a hose that goes underneath your sink and sawed off the ends of it, and then just pulled like the metal mesh and pulled the whole tube out.
Yeah.
And then pretty much fashioned this thing that fit in the hole perfect, like the drain hole perfectly.
Yeah.
Right? You could put a valve on it, and you had a nipple on the inside, and then you just clamped it to it, and so you had a natural filtration through the metal.
Perfect, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we did. And like these things hold your temperature right at that right temperature where you need them when you mash in.
That's cool.
So
Google was also a big help.
Yeah.
Uncle Google, like.
My brother makes like what is it?
Mead.
Mead. He makes mead. And dude, it turns like really, really sweet. Like I like the honey mead. Nick, you need to do another batch. That stuff, like, I don't know. I'd like to get you and him on here one time. I feel like he could learn some stuff from like what you're
That'd be
talking
cool.
about.
I've never done mead, like.
It's good.
Because it's pretty much all honey, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like I can't remember how many gallons he made last time, but it was like it was good. Now
It was pretty good.
I think that's that'll be a big swing. That'll be the next big thing. Because there's like some
Yeah.
craft meaderies popping up.
Yeah. I mean, it's sweet, so I like sweet stuff. That's why I always tell my wife, like, I can't be a drinker really, because like I can't drink in public because like everybody's gonna be like, that dude, he's swinging for the fences, you know, like he's definitely I'm walking around with like an appletini or some shit.
It's 2019, man. No one gives a shit anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Dude, get your appletini.
Yeah, damn
Rock
right.
it. Pop that pinky out there, dude.
Dude, I'm over there drinking like fucking strawberry banana daiquiris and shit, and they're like, dude, okay, no shit. On my anniversary, right? Or not anniversary, my honeymoon. There you go. We went to this place, the Virgin Islands or whatever, and on like the resort that we were at, like bars everywhere. So me and Jody were like, I can't remember how much money we ended up bringing on our trip, but we also brought a card and we like put everything on the card. So I just go up to the bartender and be like, hey, put it on our tab, give him our room number. And so I knew I spent a lot of money on those strawberry banana daiquiris. I didn't know how much I spent on
my God.
Dude, $680 something in fucking a week of those. I'm just, every time I went by it, dude, I had like double fist the whole fucking time. Yeah. And they knew my
But
room
no,
number
it's in
by
the
the
room.
end of it. They knew my name. They didn't even speak English well, but they were like, "Oh, John," and they had it already.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it was
That's
so
the way to
good.
do it. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well ball
I
out.
was on my
Right.
honeymoon, dude. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not even gonna be present anymore."
Honeymoon! Just drinking straw.
The place we were at, they have like iguanas everywhere. Like just naturally running around the fucking everywhere on this island. There's like iguanas, but they're huge. They're like fucking Godzilla iguanas.
Dude, they have like dangerous tails. Like they can whip you. They have like barbs on their tails.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, the funny
Yeah.
thing was, there's like this outside. There's like a pool or
Did
whatever.
you feed them some strawberry?
No, man. This actually does not relate to strawberry banana daiquiris. It was just they were we were like sitting out there and like walked from the beach back to the pool into our room, and we're walking back into the pool area. And there's these like ladies sitting out on these like little lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Or like those little folding chairs, and dude, this huge, monstrous, like I'm talking, his head was like that big, freaking huge iguana came out. And there's another one like sunbathing right underneath this lady's chair.
Yeah.
This huge iguana comes up and just starts this massive fight right underneath all these people, like knocking chairs over and stuff. It was huge. dude.
Dang, that's
it was
awesome.
It was pretty funny.
That's so awesome.
Disrupted.
The whole time I knew it was like Godzilla. Mini
Is that what you
Godzilla.
were thinking?
Mhm.
Like, man, where's my old camera at so I can videotape?
Right?
Like,
Just close up, filming close ups and having little model buildings all over the place.
Dude, that's.
It was
Oh
pretty
my
legit,
God.
dude. It's so funny. But I don't know. I think it got like that area got like smashed by that hurricane not too long
Oh,
ago.
Yes,
damn.
dude,
Yeah.
the one that just went through.
Mhm.
The door.
Yeah,
That's a bummer. Yeah.
But it was a really cool place. So I haven't seen like pictures of it now afterwards or whatever. But it's a pretty cool place.
Oh yeah, were you down in, like Bahamas or?
No, it was St. John. So it's nearby that
Okay.
Named after you.
St. John's.
That's why I
Like,
went.
Yeah.
it just said the Russian won the fight, but I don't know. No, I don't think it's the same fight. Cowboy Cerrone couldn't have. Like, neither one of them's Russian. Justin Gaethje's not Russian, is he?
Who's talking?
Nick talking about that fight?
He must be talking about Khabib.
Was he
Is
fighting?
he talking
today?
about Khabib?
No. 'Cause, no, we watched that fight together. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's drinking more than we are.
Yeah! Dun dun dun! Yeah. I don't know, man. But I've always been kind of like interested in brewing something. I really want to do it sometime.
You
I
should,
just don't
dude.
know what I want to brew yet, you know?
Dude,
You should
well,
find
I
a
wanna-
style that you
we
like,
should
yeah.
brew
Yeah.
something together. Cause like I would love to brew something.
Yeah.
I've always been
It's a great time to get like because
a
usually
mixer. you
yeah,
know?
and if you do like the all grain, it's like you're looking at 8 hours for the day. Like
Oh, yeah.
I guess about like it's a full day's work, but
Mhm.
you usually pound beers while you're doing it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
especially if you're doing it for fun at home.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, oh man, like you get mashed in. You're like, cool man, we got a little time. Like
Yeah.
let's crush a few beers, and get this
Yeah.
bad boy rolling.
So if you have to give somebody like that's wanting to start up, like
Mhm.
a little small thing, how would you like suggest to do that? Obviously, you were talking about like a cooler for your mash and stuff.
Yeah, so probably just like a little 5 gallon. I
Mhm.
mean, it depends on like where you want to start. 5 gallon, 10 gallons, like somewhere
Yeah.
in there. You could even do 15. Get
Mm.
your get like an old keg and cut the top out of it. Use it as a boil kettle.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I think money wise, like $250, you can get all the equipment that you need
That's not bad at
for
all.
the most part.
Okay.
Like, it's not a terrible thing. Really, it's just kind of going over the process.
Mhm.
Getting your process down, making sure the biggest thing is, everyone thinks like I just drink beer all day and that's what I get to do, and
Yeah.
my job's completely just 100% just like
drink it.
fueled by beer. And
Yeah.
I mean it is, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not like I don't get to work and I'm like,
denying it, but
oh man, like
Let's
you
start this.
5 in the morning, you know, you're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But like I always tell people I'm pretty much a glorified janitor. I clean 90% of the time, and then
Yeah,
the other
clean all
10% of the time's like drinking the beer at the end of the day, and then
yeah.
you know, coming out, repping it, talking to people, and
Yeah.
getting good feedback on it.
Because I mean, like, yeah, a lot of your process is just like a waiting game, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so
as
pretty
far as
much-
just waiting for everything to.
Yeah, once you add the
stuff.
yeast, it's
Yeah.
you sit and wait. You let the yeast do the work. It makes all the alcohol. It does all
Yeah.
the fun stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
but which I guess we never made it through the process, did we?
Oh, yeah,
we got,
yeah.
we, did, we,
Sorry.
we got no, we're
I get
good, man.
sidetracked all the
We
time.
made it to the end game.
We did, which is always the most important part.
Right.
Yeah.
If you can get to this part, that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I forgot what it was. Alright, so I'm just gonna do quick overalls.
Yeah, yeah.
Not too nitty gritty.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
take your grains, you have them busted open.
Mhm.
You'll mix them in with your water. I usually do like you want your final mash temp to be like anywhere between like 148 degrees and 155.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good like range.
Is there a lot of flavor difference at the low versus the high end of that temperature?
I don't know how much flavor difference, but I think sugar extraction. So that's where like
okay. So like a
the
higher
more
content?
the more I start to dive into this, it's like I like
Yeah.
to take it and like get real comfortable with it, and it's like, all right, now let's get a little more
See what-
sciencey.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like let's get a little more sciencey. That was because that was the thing that initially I liked about this industry is like at the end of the day, it's 4 ingredients.
Being like you said chemical engineer?
Yeah.
I mean obviously you've got a curiosity for like the way to process like
Yeah,
liver.
exactly. And at the end of the day, you get a badass product. Dude.
Hell yeah.
It's not like I'm just pumping out chemicals.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
okay, I get this fucking
Yeah,
product that I get to crush, and then like other people get to
Hell
crush,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
people are like, hell yeah, dude, this is great. You know, I'm sure it's like music, and it's like someone's like, fuck yeah, dude, that sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah,
hell yeah, man.
yeah.
Like it's that sense of like gratification. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, this is like,
Mm-hmm.
do this
Yeah,
for your
I mean that's even the cooler thing is like you legit made this.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Dude,
awesome.
it's weird for me. Not as weird now, but like for the first time, like I had beer in cans
Mhm.
that like I made.
That
I
you
was
made.
like,
Yeah.
and I think we did it. We just signed with a distributor down in Eagle Creek,
Mhm.
and just got them in the store, and I knew where they were. And like I went in, and I was like, I gotta buy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I have all the
Yeah.
beer at the brewery, but I was
I
like
gotta go buy
sitting
this.
there, and then I was like, don't mind me, I'm gonna video do this. She's like,
Yeah.
what? And I was like, sorry, I just made it. Like I just need to.
Yeah.
I was like,
so freaking
bought
cool.
my
awesome.
own beer in a
Yeah.
can for the first time,
That's
and I was
so
like,
cool.
That's like an
wild.
artist going out and like buying their CD because they find their CD in the store
Yeah.
for the first time. I mean that's like, huge. Dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's a super cool feeling, but yeah. So we'll add the water in. You want to make sure you're adding your grain in.
Mhm.
You want to make sure you mix it real nice, have an even consistency. You don't want any dough balls because like
Yeah.
kind of like with flour or anything, you're making gravy. Like it has that tendency to dough up on you.
Mhm.
So you want to make sure you get all that so you're getting like complete extraction.
Yeah.
And then you usually get like you want to find that right water to grain to. I'm trying to think what it is. Grist to water ratio.
Mhm.
You want to find that, and then usually it's like the way I explain it to people is like if you like oatmeal, it's like really soupy oatmeal.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Huh.
soupier than I
Like
would
that's-
like my
yeah,
oatmeal.
yeah.
But like that's a good explanation.
Pretty much right. Yeah,
It would just be messy eating
Mhm.
oatmeal like that, but that's kind of what it is. And then you usually shut it down. You like close your mash up. You let it sit for about an hour. So
Mhm.
during that hour, you actually have a little sciencey.
Yeah, do it, man. I'm
So you
down.
got like you
All
start out with
science.
these long complex sugar chains,
Mhm.
and you've got these alpha and beta amylases that are just like kind of floating around doing their thing in there,
Mhm.
and they'll do what's called a lock and key reaction. So they'll like come up and like lock on to
Mhm.
these chains between the long sugars.
Mhm.
They'll have a little reaction, break the
Yeah.
chains off
Yeah.
into simpler, smaller chains. So
Mhm.
later on down the process, the yeast is actually going to be able to eat and consume
Yeah.
and convert all those sugars.
That's
to
before.
alcohol.
So the mash has to actually do that whole complex.
Yeah, so it's like
breakdown.
you pretty much get it
beforehand.
all mixed in, let it sit at that
Yeah.
temperature, and it's a good temperature for those amylases, and then it breaks them
Mhm.
into the smaller chains, and,
And
you're getting
then you
this.
add your yeast into that afterwards.
So from we're not
Sorry,
we're not
sorry.
there yet. We're jumping ahead.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
jumping
damn
ahead.
it.
Yeast is like in the game.
It's so after that we'll do what we call the Vorlauf,
Mhm.
which is so usually in your mash you have a false bottom, like I was saying on the
Mhm.
one you can do. We essentially had that mesh tube.
Yeah.
Ours at work is it's got all these like little slats on the bottom.
Mhm.
When you actually pull the plates out, they're plates that like sit in.
So
And then, like I said, when the grains popped open, those husks provide a secondary like filtration layer.
Yeah.
So you'll pretty much set your grain bed to pull everything down,
Mhm.
and then you'll sprinkle it back over top.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
you just kind of get that until it's running clear. You're not getting a ton of grain pulling
Yeah, yeah.
through. And then after that, you'll actually start transferring into the boil kettle,
Mhm.
and then you'll rinse, like kind of shower the top of those grains
Mhm.
with like you don't want to go over 180 degrees. I like 170.
Mhm.
You want it over 165, and then you'll shower the top of those grains. So it's actually seeping back through and extracting all those residual sugars and things that we want out of it.
Yeah.
And it also helps you get your
No.
volume for
Yeah.
your final gravity at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
like you can check the beer and you're like, so I'll take gravities periodically. So I'll take
Yeah.
a first running gravity, and then I'll
Yeah.
check my pH to see how much sugar conversion I actually had, and then
Mhm.
at the end when we hit our boil volume, you'll check that too, and then usually you add like. It just doubles, and then you're like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
like the beer should be this at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So like I'm on track for the right gravity that I
Mhm.
want. And then once you achieve your volume in the boil kettle,
Mhm.
you'll be bringing it to a boil. Once it reaches a boil, you add your hops.
Mhm.
The earlier you add the hops, the more bitterness you actually get out of it. The
Yeah.
later you add the hops, the more flavor and aroma you actually get out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And I guess while
So
we're
these
on,
are,
while we're on
these are-
hops,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, would you say that this, like, when did you add the hops in on something like this?
This one,
Later.
since it was a lager, like these would actually be both of these were earlier editions, like right when boil started.
Yeah.
But they were low alpha acid, which will go into hops. Hops are fun.
Yeah.
Hops are a fun thing. But I'm gonna grab the IPA for hops.
You always hear about it all the time, like in
Hopping.
any commercials of beers ever.
Well,
they
like
always talk about the haps.
the Samuel Adams guy, he like grabs a handful and
He's
just like
like,
you know, breathes
like
it
nuts
in.
in his pants.
Yeah.
Do hops have that tendency about them?
Dude, hell
They
yeah.
make you almost nut in your pants.
Because that's
Nutting in your
I mean, it's all about aroma.
It is. So
with the hops, right?
the fun thing about hops is they're actually distant cousins of marijuana.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So like if you actually
I
look
did
at
not know
like.
Well, I'm just gonna display them so where people can see them while we're doing this.
So if you like look at hops, they actually like grow in cones.
Like buds almost?
They're pretty much like buds.
Really?
So like they're these huge.
Dude, I fucking love those cans. Holy crap.
So this is the Apocalypse Now.
That's awesome, dude. That's really cool.
Nice and cold.
Yeah. This is gonna be so hoppy, I can already tell.
It's actually like
So it actually, we're going up in alcohol.
we are going up in alcohol right
Each
now.
one has been like this
Yeah.
one was 6. I think the first one
That was
I
5.
feel like you've planned this shit too.
and then 7.
We'll take a step back down a little bit.
There's
You know?
nothing like a smell of hops in the morning, especially our intense IPA with a punch of.
You know that's a
citrusy-
play off of
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket, right?
Yeah. I love it.
Nothing like I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Hell yeah.
So this is actually all dry hop is citra hops in this beer, so you should get nice citrus
Oh,
notes
damn,
out of
yeah, I
it.
can smell it.
This was canned like 2 weeks ago, so it's pretty fresh.
Wow.
So fresh.
That's freaking awesome. Like I'm blown away. I'm gonna go become a brewmaster after this.
You can definitely taste that.
Whoa.
Holy shit, that is like completely
You can
different.
You can smell it.
That's why I like that we're doing it like this, man. You could
Like
legit
stagger it out,
taste
yeah.
the difference like a lot. That's insane. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
I was telling him before you came back up here
Mhm.
that you're not much of a beer drinker.
Not at all.
So like
Really?
this is how you become a beer drinker.
Yeah.
That's true. You gotta get that. I think the more you know,
see the
the
difference.
difference, and then you
Yeah.
start to like learn a little bit about it,
Yeah.
and, like all the cool stuff that goes.
Because I
into
remember
it.
like we used to talk about them and stuff, and like that you used to not be able to tell
Mhm.
because everyone you drank had been
Yeah.
weeks or months apart.
Mhm.
But like when they're consecutive like this, like each one is very
Yeah.
like specific. Like
Mhm.
this is very distinct.
Yeah, very distinct.
And it's
But I think I like this one more than both of these, and I don't really like IPA
really
that much.
no. This is actually like a pretty smooth like malty IPA.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
is
It's definitely, like,
really
malt
freaking
forward.
good.
And it's like it's an easy 7%.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you don't.
yeah, dude.
You don't know it's 7%.
Not at all. Holy crap.
These are like the beers where you'll have like 6, and all of a sudden you're like, what happened? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh man, like if I'm taking a keg of this to the Titans game tomorrow. So it's, like I always gotta warn people now because I did that a few times. I show them, they're like, what's the ABV on this? And I'm like, oh yeah, 6.57. And everyone's used to 4.5% beers, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Wait,
what?
wait, what? Yeah, it's
But I've
like
already
doubling
had-
down on your beers, dude.
It's like, oh yeah, sorry guys.
One of these is like
Wow.
2 of your normal ones. Dude, yeah,
This is really
that's a
freaking
lot of
good.
flavor.
Thanks, man. So this is our flagship IPA here.
Yeah.
God.
So I tweaked this one a little bit when I got there. I had stepped back, I saw like how they were doing things, and then it was very, very malt forward, and I was like, I want just a little bit more perceived bitterness, and I
Yeah.
upped it just a smidge,
Mm-hmm.
and I think now it's like
Yeah.
the drinkability is real high for me.
So you're like to be able to get these consistent, like because you have to. I mean, how many batches of this do you actually make normally?
So I make about 60 barrels a month of this beer.
How many
And
cans does
that's-
that normally relate to? Like a barrel. is like-
Cans, it would be, if we canned all of that 60,
Mhm.
660?
Oh my god. There you go.
660 cans?
Damn.
I guess in a perfect world
Yeah.
it'd be 666
Yeah.
cans, but...
Yeah, you know.
But, yeah, so it's a shit ton of beer. I think, we have a 10-barrel system, so for every 30 gallons is 1 barrel.
Yeah.
So that's, I think it's like right at 300.
So like a lot of your job though would be like consistency.
It's consistency,
in that,
yeah.
Right. So like
So-
being able to.
Same gram
Reproduce
amounts,
this.
same mash-in temperatures.
Mhm.
Try to achieve that same pH. If the hops, like if we get new hops in, they have different alpha acids.
Mhm.
Matching to make sure you get the same IBU to come out. So that's why I take all those gravity measurements and things like that to make sure like I'm on track.
Yeah.
To get
through
to this
the whole
point.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
And
So-
like they're consistent, but that's the beauty about like craft beer. We're consistent in like
Yeah.
this realm. So I have this little bit of variance
Yeah.
where it's like it budges a little bit, but you're still in this fine like
Yeah.
home spot.
Yeah. So like with something like this, I mean, this IPA, you like whenever you came into the brewery, do they already have some like a layout of like the archetype of what they want this to be like, and then they're
Yeah,
like
so
here.
Yeah, this was the one they already had around. So
Yeah.
this brewery been around for I think they've been around for 5 years.
Mhm.
So I've been there for 4 months now.
Yeah.
But so they had this around, and then that was the wild.
Tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, that was
not
the wild part. I like
really-
stepped in. I've been there 2 weeks, and he was like, the owner was like, "Yo,
What do
you want to do anything to this?" And I was like,
Yeah.
relax. Like I was like, I've been here 2 weeks, dude. Like I was like, let me brew it
Yeah.
a few times how
Yeah.
they did. Let me see what your process is. Let
Yeah.
me see, because like that's the cool part too about like from the last guy that brewed to me to any other brewer, we could sit down and like you could take a handful of brewers, we brew the same recipe.
Yeah.
The beer's gonna slightly be different every time because
Yeah.
everyone has their own nuances and ways they do things, and then
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to say. It's not weird to say at all. I'm not gonna lie. You taste the love in the beer when people
Yeah.
actually care about
Yeah,
like, the
yeah.
product. You actually like. I think at the end of the day, that
Yeah.
gives a lot more flavor and like robustness.
It's just
out
like
of it, too.
cooking.
It is.
You
Yeah.
can tell who actually cares about what they're doing.
Exactly.
They just
Yeah.
throw it together like, oh,
Mhm.
somebody else is eating it, I'm not
Yeah.
eating it.
Dude. Speaking of which, like I rushed this beef jerky. You can pretty much tast.
The
it's
only
so
thing,
friggin' nice.
the
It's like,
only thing wrong with that is that you can't break it.
dude, you cannot break that jerky.
It's unbreakable.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's one of those things
If it was
where, like,
smaller-
if you don't have a lot of time to reach in your pocket and get some more jerky, if you got, like, time to chew,
Yeah.
that's the jerky for you.
Right? If you're on a long drive
I
and
like
you
it.
got time to chew,
That's the jerky for you.
that's the jerky.
You're welcome for that world.
Also, you should make another version of the exact same thing, but make it really easy to tear apart.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
it
I'm
could be
telling
called
you, sirloin, man.
Mr.
Sirloin for days.
Mr. Glass Jerky.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Glass.
Yes.
I don't
I
know.
like that shit. That was good. That was good right there. And then we'll make some that's, like, mixed up, and then it will be like the, what was that movie, Split?
Split?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like what?
Yeah.
Like half tough, half like, easy to pull apart.
Yeah. Half and half. I'm
It's
gonna,
like a
sew
wishbone. Like
together-
someone grabs it to see which piece they got.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You got the hard
I got
piece,
Unbreakable.
loser. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, like, I am digging this beer.
Yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah.
definitely
So
like
good.
It's so much more.
The citrus?
It's got a lot of.
Yeah, this is like
It's
the
so
citra
nice.
comes out,
Mhm.
It's so nice.
and that's all. So that's all hop flavors. So yeah, like I was saying, hops cousins of marijuana. They grow in buds pretty much. It's kind of wild. I actually got to go out to the hop fields in the Yakima Valley out
That's
in Washington.
Mhm.
And,
Oh, you were in Washington State.
Yeah,
Freaking
it was.
love that place.
Dude, it was
That's
gorgeous
beautiful.
out there.
Mhm.
Absolutely gorgeous. And so they grow like 20 feet high, like these hop vines, and then they all
Really?
hang off. And then
that's
so
cool.
when you actually pull the hop apart, there's these little like oil sacs on the inside called the lupulin gland.
Lupulin gland.
Lupulin, yeah.
That is somebody was pretty cool that name.
And then so actually like when people used to do a whole flower
Mhm.
and they would dry them out, and then whenever the heat would hit those glands, it actually like ruptured that sac,
And then,
and the oils would come out.
yeah.
And so that's where, like, when I was talking about alpha acids earlier, you have, like, your alpha acids, your beta acids, and things like that go into the hops. So the alpha acids pretty much determine your bitterness.
Mhm.
So the higher the alpha acid, the more bitterness it contributes. But then also, like marijuana, you have different hop strains.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on
It
where they've
becomes
crossbred, like, so citra hops are, like, very citrus forward. And then you've got, let's say, like, mosaics, like, extremely floral. You kind of get some tropicaliness out of it.
Mhm.
You get some. They're getting wild with hops now, like like lemon drops, like all like lemon notes, real.
Oh, that's cool.
Some lime, stone fruit, like
Yeah.
people are getting into like papaya, mango, like wild things coming out of a
Yeah.
hop, and like it's just
That's
it's
pretty wild, man.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
so it's all this cross pollinating and
Mhm.
all this stuff, and there's a lot of work that goes into that too. Like I think whenever you grow hops for the first time, 2 years before you can actually use them for beer. And then I think, as far as like the experimental ones that are about to come out on the market, I think it takes them like, they said 5 years.
Damn.
So like they gotta get them to where they can actually use them in beer. Then they drop them off to local brewers
Mhm.
and say, hey, let us know what you think about this. Play around with it. Then they get feedback from them.
Mhm.
Try to work on that cross pollinating thing. So like some
Yeah.
of these hop
It's not
breeds
like-
are like take just years of just like
My God,
honing
man.
in. Like it's wild when you start
Yeah.
to break all that down.
But then whenever it comes to that, I mean, like, I guess price-wise on those hops are going to be a lot more expensive too, right? Like, since
Yeah,
they
like
got
probably
years.
experimental until you
Yeah.
start like having a bigger crop of them.
Yeah, yeah. That's insane though, man. Like just the thought of having like those different flavors in those hops.
See, when we had an episode recently where we were talking about like legalization of marijuana and stuff, and that's what I think the beauty of legalization would be.
Yeah.
Is people can experiment with all of this, botanical stuff.
Exactly.
And create new strains of marijuana that have different flavors or different effects or this or
And
that.
then, like, when you go out to, like, places where it is legal, like Denver or, like, Washington or wherever, like, and you go into, like, one of the dispensaries, they are, like, they're just like, what do you want? And then it's like, we have these, they taste like this, they do this, you getting this, like, wild flavor out of it. Like you said, like, is this an indica or a sativa or a hybrid now? Like, and so they're starting to get into that out there. They have these wild breakdowns. And like it's only getting more scientific on their end. So they're making a pure, higher quality product too.
Dude, that's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be
because it's inevitable. It's like one of those.
It's gotta
things
happen.
that's just gonna eventually trickle down.
We're just stuck in the Bible Belt.
Yeah,
it'll be
right. I mean,
it's coming down. But dude, I swear. So actually, this Tuesday we've got people that are coming on our podcast for the vape.
The vape
shop. It's Fallout Vapors who
it
is, but they're going to be talking about the ban that they are proposing.
You heard about the ban on
which
vaping
actually,
or whatever.
like flavored cigarettes, pretty much they're banning.
It's the Trump administration. Their proposed a ban on all non-tobacco flavored e-cigarettes or vape. So all non-tobacco flavored. So any kind of flavors you can.
Which is like over 90% of the market right now. I mean, like
why? Is that just
because
it's appealing more to kids and stuff.
6 people died.
That's like kind of like I think that's kind of like the what is that called? Like the I don't know.
It's just
the fall guy.
Scapegoat. It's the scapegoat that they're using to try and ban something that they don't know anything about. So like
that's weird because they're shooting themselves in the foot because they're taxing the shit out of that.
Right.
It's like how much tax dollars are
honestly,
you not gonna get?
what I believe it is it's big tobacco making their move.
Yeah, and that could be it.
Because I mean everybody knows that politics is ran by multi-million-dollar companies, pharmaceutical, big tobacco, oil.
Yeah.
I mean the big names,
One thing I will say that's really cool, like so I watched. I've been reading up on it a lot because we got these guys coming on our podcast. Might change my opinion on Tuesday if they talk to me about this because really haven't watched much beyond like a few of these conferences.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is Trump was like talking about how they're gonna look into it. He was like, we don't have all the facts yet, so we're gonna look into this. But somebody proposed the bill to him. He said that seems logical. Let's propose the bill. Let's like see if we can go forward with this. But he was like, we don't know all the facts yet, so we're gonna look into it more before we actually say if this is gonna happen or not. And that's the big thing. Like that, this last week has been like, let's like really look into the facts of it. And just recently, I think like 2 days ago or something. I think it might have been 2 days ago, but they decided not to pass that ban. So like they're not passing it, but they're kind of looking more into.
It wasn't FDA regulated. That was the biggest thing.
Well, they're gonna let everybody, like all those people, apply for regulations for the new FDA, and they said that if you get caught selling to people that are under 18, that's the real big thing. Like Trump's whole perspective on it was like, hey, I think they caught like maybe his son or somebody smoking a Juul or something that's like underage.
Oh,
and
they're like,
this
that's the thing, man. Like the Juuls are real. Like,
yeah, dude, it's everywhere.
They're
man.
so convenient,
and they're so like disguised now. I do think that's kind of shitty that they're like trying to make it look like, oh, it's just a USB drive, like Juul, whatever. I get it. It's like that's the way they look. But then they are making some that are like that look like flash drives that legit look like do not look like anything that would be used in that. I mean, so I think that kind of in that sense is shitty to target that audience, but
the real thing though that happened was those 6 people that died from it said vape related incidents. The 6 people that died were using unregulated vaping pens, and they were also using unregulated THC oil based vape cartridges.
And they found vitamin E oil in it, which was the thing that was actually
oil cannot be used for vaping.
Yeah.
It's got to be water based.
Yeah.
So that's their issue. It has nothing to do with any of the legitimate vaping that's going on from the vape stores. Because everything they sell is like regulated.
Yeah.
I was saying, they got it down to like their nicotine content. And everything.
So like the stuff that people died from was stuff that they were buying off the streets, and they didn't buy them from vape shops, and it had nothing to do with legal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like, so that's what I would say, man. I give props to dude for, like, looking into the science of it, and then they actually came out with that paper that said it was vitamin E that killed those people. They were smoking
because they have to have additives to the oils to make it burn properly or whatever, you know.
So, like I said, I'm going to, like, wait for sure to, like, form an
that'll be
solid
interesting,
opinion.
man.
But,
Yeah.
I'm
I'd like to
excited
hear
for
what
it
he says,
because
'cause I don't know.
I don't know much. I don't vape. I don't know much about vaping. I'm probably not going to look into it that much. I'm going to let them say their piece. And
We should do the same thing that we're doing right now with a vape
Educate.
shop. Just bring
Try
us
it,
different
try
flavors
it.
of
You're
vape,
gonna go,
bro.
oh man, Fruity Pebbles.
Really tastes different. Hell yeah.
we have like 5 vapes and we're just like,
Yeah.
like.
Dude, what I mean, I don't know, man. I guess, like, in a sense, it's kind of a slap in the face, dude, okay? Like, vaping, to me, in a sense, okay? Because I'll smell, like I'll be walking around the corner and smelling like, oh, man, somebody just cooked, like, the most delicious cupcakes. It smells so good, I'm gonna go buy some. And then I walk across the corner, and there's just a fucking, like, dude over there.
I just, like, blowing
I'm like,
clouds.
you sack of shit.
Yeah.
You ever see a car driving down the road and like there's smoke coming out both sides and it's just like.
Yeah.
That's where it gets wild, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been like. I'm more of a social cigarette smoker too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I had the dude like down in Statesboro, those kids down there, man. They had the Juuls, but it's like you hit those things, man, and like especially 5% nicotine ones, and like you hit them, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my
buzzed.
god!
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit!
I feel good.
I was like, I might need to sit down for like a second, because like if you try to cheap them, then you're like, ooh.
Yeah, dude.
And then you're like, all right, we're good. Like.
How did you do that? I had some of the the THC ones, and I tried that, and I was fucked, dude. I had,
that's
like
yeah, because they're pure.
Dude,
Just
yes,
pure
I-
concentrate.
Because he was just like, Charlie, it tastes like so and so, and I can't remember what it even tastes like, dude.
Yeah.
It was like I took a big drag off of it because
you
I
don't
like
know.
to be. I ain't no bitch. I mean, I'm over there trying to like.
Mama ain't raised no bitch.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
So I'm like, I'll take a hard drag off this because he's like, oh, it's THC, it's this and this. It's like, all right, I'm gonna try it. So, but yeah, dude, I was fucked for a while, dude. Like, I was like,
It'll creep up on you.
it wasn't even creep. It was literally like,
Like
I
as
just did
soon
it,
as you
and
did it,
and I
you're
was-
like,
Oh really?
You know, how, like, have you ever done
you
whippets?
exhale and you're just like.
Have you ever done whippets?
I've never done one of this.
You ever done whippets? It's instant, dude. Like, whippets, like flipping the fucking can upside down of like Cool Whip and just breathing in nitrous, whatever that is. I don't even know what it is. I think it's nitrous, dude. Horrible for you. Don't recommend doing it. It's stupid. I did that in high school, but it's like instant, dude.
I just got like this like weird image of you like doing whippets, so like the.
Oh, dude. I swear.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Oh yeah.
Whip it good. And just like.
No, dude, oh my
Like-
god. Okay, high school me. This is like one of my favorite things, man. Okay, we skipped school one time. In the back of my friend Kresmer's car, like me and my friend Poncho and Kresmer skipped school one day. We drove to school, got to the door at school, and we're like, oh, fuck this. And we just drove off.
I've done that.
We got suspended
I did
for
that
like
in
a
college.
week for doing that too, by the way. We got suspended for like a week because they were like, you're on school property, then you left. You're suspended for like a week. Dude, they have no clue what we got into that day. So much dumb shit. But my favorite thing is, we went to Walmart, we heard about whippets, so we're like, let's fucking do it.
Oh my god.
So we got like 12 cans of Cool Whip and go to the back of the car. One can will fuck you up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it will mess you up pretty good. So we're all in the back of Kresmer's car. Kresmer's driving. Me and Poncho were doing whippets. So he did like a whippet, and dude, like, I mean, like, it's
just
like you stand up too fast, it gives you that feeling. Like you're lightheaded.
Yeah.
Everything's fuzzy. That's pretty much what it is. But, so we did that.
It's a lack of oxygen.
Dude, yeah, because you pretty much just breathed in poisonous gases. And, dude,
oh my god.
I freaking pretty much passed out with this can of whipped cream in my hand. Wake up, and the whole back of his car is covered in whipped cream.
Did you just hold it down?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
Oh my god.
I was like, and fucking just Cool Whip everywhere, dude.
Oh,
and
man.
Kresmer is like still probably to this day somewhat butthurt about having to clean out all that shit, dude. Because
I
me and
bet that's
Poncho both
terrible.
just Cool Whips everywhere. It was so
Oh my
funny, dude.
god.
oh, that's wild.
But the THC pen pretty much gave me that same feeling, but for a long time. So I do not recommend it. If you're if you're a newbie for
Have you ever done dabs?
no.
Okay, so that's like the pens are pretty like
Yeah,
fairly
It's
close to
basically
dabs.
it's basically like a dab.
because it's such a high concentrate.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Dab is like the
It's
what
just
is
like-
it, like the liquid.
It's like the
concentrate?
resin, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's like pretty much
okay,
they cook they cook it all down to like
Yeah.
this pure,
Okay, then
pretty
yes.
much straight THC
You gotta, like,
resin.
Heat up this
I just always called
press.
it resin though.
You know,
But-
and
so that's when they clean out like pipes and stuff like that and stuff too. You can
Not
like that?
not quite as much. I think you gotta do all this
Yeah.
stuff to get it down, but it's pretty much, you feel like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like you take a butane torch and like heating the thing up.
Yeah, it's like.
And then you gotta do
you
this
see
thing where
in
like they
every
hit it
drug
in
movie
there and then
ever.
you're like covering it and like
Yeah.
letting the air hit it. But
Mhm.
yeah, those things straight to the dome.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
bunk, and then you're like, whoa, nope.
Yeah, that's
We're
what
not-
that pin
we
felt
go-
like for me.
we're going out? No.
Yeah. Which, dude, by the way, so Casey, we had Casey on here not too long ago. I gave him one of those gummies. That fucked me, dude. I mean, I had half one, and I was fucking in the next dimension for a while. And I gave
That
him one
same
of
one
those.
that you gave me?
Yeah, did you have one?
Not
Did you?
yet.
Dude!
I'm gonna take it.
Chris!
I'm gonna take it when I get home.
Okay.
I didn't have
Is
it
this,
yet. I forgot
Casey
it.
Jarvis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Had
Man.
You
him
know,
on,
you know
like-
Casey?
Yeah. Oh, we met a few times, but
Nice.
he's tight with Dalton and Matt.
Nice.
My buddies from high school did. I think they used to play together with him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And
Love
he's,
Casey.
and he's doing well with like jelly rolls.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I gave him one of those, but he told me, like, they're sponsored by some THC company out of Colorado.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he was like, dude,
Every time they go out there, he's like, they bring
Just
him
load up.
this
Just
huge tray of
like trays
whatever
and
they
stuff.
want, you know.
but he was like, the stuff that I've got is like, because I don't even know, dude. I'm
Yeah.
very casual. I
Yeah.
don't really drink much. I'll have some wine every once in a while or something like that, and I don't
This is
even
like party of the century for you.
I'm going stone cold, dude.
IPA.
But,
I'm
but-
stoked that you're digging this beer too. 'cause
dude,
that was
this
the one I
swear
was
to
like,
God, this one's like,
Seriously,
Yeah.
like, I had IPA before, and like, after a few of them that I had, I was like, I just don't dig it.
mhm.
But this one is just, there's something about it.
Yeah, it's got that citrus.
The citrus
Yeah,
just
a lot.
makes
like
it.
the,
really
it's pretty
cool.
malt forward, so it's not super bitter. Like you're not
Yeah.
sitting there
Yeah,
going, like
The-
feeling like you gotta scrape your tongue
That's
off.
the,
You know.
the thing about IPAs that always got me is that like you would drink them and you taste it, but then that back
the after
end,
finish,
Yeah, yeah.
that after bitterness.
the back end would
Yeah.
always just linger, and I'm
And then
like,
you're like,
God. But
Mhm.
this is it's just that citrus.
Yeah.
You don't really
Yeah.
get so much of the back end hoppiness.
Yeah.
Like, it's the citrus. It's
Mhm.
good.
So it's all
Anyways.
from like the dry hop too. So like that's late addition, so you don't get as much of the bitterness out of it.
Yeah.
So it's all the flavor aroma.
Yeah.
I'm all about this. Like
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
like freaking buy this all the time.
Yeah.
Hey,
Do you
man,
have
the
anywhere
drink-
local that you can buy this?
The closest we have is Columbia, Tennessee.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Where at in Columbia.
I don't know where at in Columbia,
Yeah.
but
It's out there somewhere.
man, I'm still trying to
It's
figure
so
everything out.
cool though, dude. I mean, I swear, like that's a beer
Yeah,
that
this
you
is
could see,
really,
like just
yeah,
the
really
even
good.
like the actual like
I love
label
the
of it. Dude.
I love the
label
artwork too.
looks
Like
so
the
good.
artwork's just fun.
Yeah,
stuff.
like there's some beers that I drink that I like to have with like food or something.
Yeah.
You know? But this beer I could probably just sit down and drink it
yeah.
and
Yeah.
not have to have anything to
Mhm.
eat or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree. I like it.
Yeah.
But hell yeah, man. Well, dude, all right. I don't know. Do you have like this is a staple of yours?
Yeah. All right. So this is one of our flag. So we call this a flagship. Yeah. So yeah, this is our flagship. We actually we have the state beer championship next week.
Oh hell yeah.
oh god.
So I actually brought 2 award-winning beers with me. But the Apocalypse won a medal, and
Nice.
also the Lawn Patrol did as well.
I
Don't
can
know what
see
they
that, dude.
won. Don't
Yeah.
know what they won yet. So 1 through 3.
Oh, dude. So you already know you won something?
We know we won medals. We just don't know
Yeah,
what. So we won't know until like
Yeah.
I think the day of we're doing the award ceremony.
Yeah.
So first medals I've ever won. So pretty
Hell
fucking
yeah, dude.
excited. Like
Dude, that's
Congratulations,
thank
really
you.
awesome.
That's huge, dude.
I mean, this has got to win some medals.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
it's so different from anything I've ever had.
I'm kind of like in love with this beer.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be so bummed when I can't find it anymore.
I know, man.
Well,
We're
you can
gonna have
always
to call
always
and
put a
just be
call
like,
in and be
look,
like, yo
brother,
man, like
Chris is
when you-
over here like itching, looking
Jones
like
and he's
fucking
like,
like,
the
yeah, he's got, like,
apocalypse.
eating his scabs and shit over this beer.
I need the smell of what is it?
Citra hops.
Nothing like the smell of hops in the morning.
Yeah, I need the citra hops. God. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. But like, so they had pretty much like a couple of beers. Do you have anything that you like specifically formulated? You got anything in there?
I got two brand new.
Those are the ones.
Those are the big boys. Yeah.
That's you, 100%.
That's 100%.
Fuck yeah, dude! I
Yeah.
can't wait to try those.
Yeah, I
Dude,
figure we
yes.
saved those for last, but
Oh, yeah.
those are a whole lot of fun too.
Dude, nice.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
like, so I mean, the process of you doing those, like,
Uh-huh.
how do you come up with your formula? How are you like, let's?
It kind of depends. If it's a style I've never done, I'll obviously like look online, like
Mm.
kind of see like general like what percentage of grain and hops and this and that, like what IBU range, which is like international bittering units, how they measure like how bitter the beer is going to be, or like what certain types of grain or things like that go into a certain style.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I have this, and I
Yeah.
just get like I get a good general idea, and then it's
Mhm.
just kind of like
Yeah. Just whatever.
Plug and chug. Because I mean, it's
Yeah.
like you're like, man, I'm gonna do this much of this, this much of this, this much of this. We're gonna do it at this point. Add all these hops in.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna see how it turns out. And like a lot of times, like the first try, like it's you kind of do this and you go like, I hope it's gonna turn out good.
Yeah.
Like knock on wood, nothing's been completely god awful yet.
Yeah. So are these like? Is this your first run through of these guys?
Both of these would be the first time done both of these beers. So we got a nice little
nice.
Little we got a porter to drink too, and then we'll get to those.
But hell yeah.
But yeah, I think I brought a nice little brown, the Joe Beerte.
That sounds hilarious, dude. I'm stoked with that.
And then the Invisible Swordsman is a Mexican lager.
Oh, nice.
And
I've never had a Mexican lager
Cerveza.
before.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what Yeah, right.
Well,
Cerveza.
cerveza is like
Yeah.
Mexican or
Is that
Spanish
lager?
for beer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cerveza.
Right, there you go.
Like Dos Equis.
Yeah, anytime
Yeah,
you walk
right.
into somewhere you think you want water, you go uno cerveza,
Nice.
por favor.
There you go. Oh, worked pretty well for you then. Huh?
Yeah.
Be staggering out of there, dude. Let me check, make sure something. Because I honestly am not positive. What does it say on there, timing?
There's a time on there.
Yeah, it should say, like... I can't even read it from here. Because the fucking light's in my
The
face.
light is like,
Damn it.
it puts a sheen on
Yeah,
it.
we should be good. If that starts clicking randomly, it means we've ran out of time.
Okay.
But I think we should be good, because I think I set it down to... We should have 2 hours.
Okay.
I think we're good. But
I
dude,
don't know how much more I can drink.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Like,
luckily
as
your
far
house
as,
is
like-
like 2 minutes
Yeah,
away.
I'm only like 2 minutes away, so.
I'll get a call from you and you'll be like, dude.
I drove all the way through the woods to my place.
I'm so lost. Yeah. Dude, but man, so I don't know, it's kind of weird. Have you ever at work just been like sipping on them and then you're like, ugh, I gotta slow down.
I mean, I guess, yeah, sometimes you get a little excited. I don't know, it depends on the day. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it helps, if you're having just one of those days where, like, it's a rough day.
Yeah.
Maybe you're 6 beers in, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of the day, and, some days are better than others, and, like, it's one of those things, usually I get off, I pound a few beers when I'm off, too, like, just at the bar, just hanging around, so.
Yeah. Do y'all have a bar in the brewery?
Yeah, so we have a tap room in there, no food, we're working on, like, maybe getting a little, like, snacky stuff going on.
Yeah, like some bar food.
Yeah, like little baby meat and cheese plates, nothing too wild. And then we got a little taco joint right across the road. So
yes,
people can like run
yeah.
over, grab a taco, grab it, and just eat it in the tap room. So
this
like,
place, Asgard? You ever been
yeah.
there?
I actually know the head brewer over there,
Dude,
man.
no shit, I want to get
Ryan.
them on our podcast too. Like, they're legit. I went
Hell
there the
yeah.
first time the other day, and
Do they have their new system up and going yet?
mm,
It's close. I know they got the equipment, like the brewing equipment.
I don't know. Like, I don't know them. Like, I've been trying to get the dude on our podcast because my brother goes there all the time.
Yeah.
And he invited me over. Me and Jody went. Had a couple of beers. They, like, I'm really big into like Allegheny ciders, so they have a cider there, and it was pretty good, man. I had their IPA. But
There's a brewery in Franklin. God, I guess it's the Cool Springs Brewery or something.
Yeah.
That place is awesome. They have like pizza there.
Hell yeah.
Like I think it's like brick oven, so it's like legit pizza.
Sounds cool.
And I was there like it's probably been a couple months ago, but they had this something Doppelbock.
Ooh, nice.
And it was really good. It was the first time I actually bought a growler and took some home with me.
Hell yeah.
But it was really good.
Hell yeah. What do you guys think about Dixon getting its first brewery?
I know the
Furnace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know those people?
Chris? Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually, he like did his little internship over at Cool Springs
No
Nice.
shit.
Brewing. Yeah.
Nice, cool as
Yeah.
hell. Yeah, I haven't really tried any of their stuff yet.
I haven't.
And,
I swung in. I've seen the facility, man. The facility's
had a-
super nice.
They had a nitro. There was I can't remember it, but I wanted to try it, but they were out of it. But
Well,
they
fun
said
though,
that the nitro is different than like the regular.
Yeah.
It's a carbonation wise. So
Yeah.
like nitrogen is smaller bubbles than CO2.
Hmm.
And so that's what like so with Guinness, even though Guinness is like everyone's like, oh, it's a dark beer, it's so heavy. It's like it's 4.5%. Like it's super. It's really not that heavy of a beer. But the reason it's so smooth is because it's all like nitrogen carb and it has those little teeny bubbles. So it kind of provides that smooth, almost creamy mouthfeel. Like,
yeah. That's pretty cool.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that'll completely change the flavor of a beer too.
Yeah.
Just something as far as like just changing the carbonation.
Yeah, like the gas you use or
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude.
it's kind of wild. Like even different carb levels.
Yeah. It's pretty badass, man. Do y'all do a lot of different carbonation types, or do y'all use
We
certain...
just usually CO2. We don't have like any nitrogen tanks or anything right now. We're maybe like look into it at some point. Maybe that's further down the road.
Yeah.
But not just CO2 right now. Keeping it the same. But you can carb them to. We actually have like a carbonation tester, so like I can
Well, that's cool. Like,
pick like for certain styles you want it to be like at this carbonation or this carbonation or this carbonation, so you can like pick that out.
Yeah. Dude, even
That's so cool.
having the burps of this in it, you can taste like
The
that
hops,
citrusy,
like,
like deliciousness.
It's very good. I
Dude,
never
that
thought
is really
that I
good,
would
dude.
be
Yeah.
such a fan of IPA because
Yeah.
I always just didn't like them. Like I would try them and I would give them a shot. Somebody would be like, "Hey, dude, try this."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I don't really like IPAs," and I'll try it and I'll be like, "It's not my thing."
Yeah.
This one is so good.
Yeah.
You should
I'm
try
very surprised.
New England style IPAs too. So
Yeah.
they're all about like pretty much no bittering edition, all like late whirlpool or dry hop editions.
Mhm.
So it's just all hop flavor and aroma, like
Yeah.
pretty much no bitterness.
Mhm.
We just did one. I think I was shooting for 6.5. It's probably gonna be 7%.
Damn.
Got a little excited.
Yeah.
Got a little excited.
Whoops.
But
Yeah.
like you said, like sometimes that was my general shot, and I'm still trying to figure
Yeah.
out the pilot. So I was
Yeah.
like, maybe 10 pounds grain over, like it's fine. But yeah, we did it. I dry hopped the shit out of it too, and it is a dank.
Oh yeah.
It is a dank little
Damn.
beer. And it's gonna be the battle for Helm's dank.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
Dank is such a proper word for IPA
It is.
because like it just I mean it, like you said, they're like the brother or sister of.
Yeah, they're in the same
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
I mean it's like dank taste, but then you get the marijuana and it's dank smell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
Have you
cool.
guys seen like what Sweetwater? Like certain brews are starting to like play with like the terpenes of marijuana too now. So like just the smell complex.
Oh, that's cool.
So like I guess they figured out a way to isolate that. So it's just like the smell, like flavor and aroma. So Sweetwater just came out with like a 420 strain.
Oh, that's badass.
So it's like their
Yeah.
normal 420, but they actually put the terpenes in there. And like whenever I've had it on tap too, and like whenever it's on tap, when you open a bottle or you tap it, it's like you get it and you're like.
I'm
It's like,
doing
it should-
something.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I didn't mean to bring
Is
this
there
in.
a
I didn't mean to bring this in here. Like,
I didn't inhale. I didn't inhale.
But and their newest one's gonna be like a stout that they're gonna drop like some weird strain of marijuana, like the terpenes in there.
I knew that was probably coming.
No, it's coming.
on,
Like
yeah.
CBD's kind of like it's a
Yeah.
dicey realm right now. Like some
It
people
is.
are kind of playing
All
with
of
it.
those CBD places are just it's kind of like a front. They're CBD now.
Yeah.
But
But
as soon as
eventually
it gets
it's gonna be-
legal,
Oh,
it's gonna
just
be.
done
Yeah,
to
yeah,
dispensaries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially here in Dixon, dude. Like, do you live in Dixon?
No.
Or well, like your parents? Did you
Yeah,
grow
my
up in
parents.
Dixon?
Yeah.
So like, everywhere now is a CBD
CBD?
shop, dude.
Like
There's
Dollar
at least-
Generals, just on every corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, there's like
everywhere, dude.
freaking $6 or $7 Generals in Dixon. I swear to God.
There's probably more like 16 or 17, dude.
Yeah. It's
There's a
freaking
shitload
nuts.
everywhere you go. But dude, there's hemp shops now everywhere. There's
Yeah.
literally like I can think of like 6 right now. And then all the
shops?
vape shops. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's one out towards the interstate in Pomona. There's a newer one out in going out towards Fairview. There's one going out towards Burns. There's like
See, I never go out towards any of those ways.
Dude,
That's
yeah.
why I
Well,
haven't seen
towards
them.
the interstate. You know where Cast Music used to be before it
Yeah,
closed down
yeah.
for good? There's one right there, right by Golden Eagle
Where the-
Pond.
Oh, right by the pawn shop.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's in this
Wow.
little like it looks like a
Is it where the
garage, but
white
it's something
hand
hemp.
beside that?
Yeah, White Hand Coffee. There's like a garage or
Yeah,
open
yeah.
hand, and
Yeah,
then there's a
open
garage
hand, yeah.
there. And it's like a hemp
Okay.
place now. I can't
That's
remember what it's
wild.
called. Yeah,
But
I thought it was a
I guess
garage.
with hemp, this is something I was blown away by. I guess like because it grows just like a normal marijuana plant.
Yeah.
But, like so, there's actually like hemp buds you can buy and like
hemp bud. Oh,
you
I
can
see
buy like
that shit.
the CBD
Yeah.
like buds and
Yeah.
like no THC and I guess like people can like
Dude, they have CBD
Smoke
blunts that you
the-
can
yeah,
buy
like-
at the gas station.
that's just
CBD
weird.
blunts.
What the hell?
Yeah.
yo man, let's go roast a
I know.
CBD blunt.
I was
Like,
thinking about buying one of those the other day, and they were like
Like-
$9, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know."
That's
man.
$9,
Yeah, for
man.
one dude, it was rough. But
$9 for pre-roll.
I know.
But
it's
what's the
wild.
price of the bud though?
I don't know, but like
I mean like
literally
out
the
in
gas
Denver,
station-
like you can get a I think what was it a half gram like pre-rolled joint. I bought it for $8
There
in
you go.
Denver, and it was
Yeah.
like,
All the
it
work
was
done?
stupid.
Well,
I
dude,
like,
well, do they have
All
do
the
they
work's
have, like
done.
the like content on them, like the milligram content? on those?
like on the vape
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Mhm.
They probably would be able to tell you at the shops, like
Oh,
if you
the
find like a
blunts and
certain
stuff.
like strain. And that was the cool part that you're like,
Yeah.
dude, you can buy flour. You can like, oh, I want these pre-rolled.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's like,
that's cool as
you
hell.
can buy them pre-rolled, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have to do anything. I just open,
Yeah.
just open this cool little container
Yeah,
up.
it's like
and
in a
then,
pill bottle, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like in a pill bottle. Yeah.
It's wild.
The gummies that I got came in like this big white, like a
legitimate
bottle.
packaging and stuff, and then dude, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, dude, speaking of that, like the pill bottle thing that I got, like Casey had them, and he was telling me like the ones that they're sponsored by these people or whatever, and they get like 100 milligram. He was like, these are probably like 25 milligram. So he just ate the whole thing. I gave it to him, and like it's nothing. I told him it blew me out of the fucking earth. I was like, dude, I was fucking gone for like 2 hours at least, and I was like, here you go, try it, and he was like, he just ate the whole thing like it was nothing. Just ate it. And then I like texted him about it like the next day. I was like, did you eat that? And he was like, dude, I totally forgot I ate that. Nope, that was not fucked up. I was like, damn, but his tolerance.
I think he's
like,
good. He's probably gonna
he was telling me that he like he just eats this fucking or he just ate. I'm not saying he's like crazy, just eating them all the time. But he said he'd had a lot like of those 100 milligrams.
Yeah.
So he's
That's cool. That will build your tolerance up too. I was like, there's a beer festival out in Denver every year, the Great American Beer Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was with Eagle Creek in Statesboro, we went out that first year, and like we had a booth and everything. So like I got the booth set up, and then the owner was like, we weren't hanging out. It's like I go to the dispensary for the first time. They're like, take your name down. It feels like a doctor's office. Like sit down. And then they'll call your name. Like,
was there a lot of people in the waiting room?
Yeah, there was like maybe 5. Like not a ton, but
like a normal doctor visit.
Yeah, like kind of awkward, and it's a little cold, quiet. And, like I walked down into a basement somewhere, and I was like, oh okay.
Yeah.
So like they're like, Zach, you can come back now, and I was like,
what the? That is so weird.
You know, I was like what did I get into?
Yeah.
And then they'll walk in, and then like they're just so nice, and everything's just laid out. And they're like,
that's so cool.
Oh hey man, what do you want? What are you feeling? Like you
was it a doctor like a legit dude?
No,
lab
like
guy?
they weren't like they're just dudes.
That'd be
like,
so fucking cool if it was. I'd be so weirded out.
Like I looked into because I think I got some brownies, like they were 10 milligrams a piece.
Nice.
And then I asked the dude about like he's like they had the little pre-rolled shorty joints, and I was like I don't know man, like we're here, like we'll grab this thing. Yeah. And he was telling me about the hybrid thing, and that was like that's where I was like, what the hell is this? Because like I knew indica sativa, but I was like, what's a hybrid?
Yeah.
And he was like, do you play music? And I was like, I dabbled like a little bit, you know, like he's like it's pretty much like when you want to get in the pocket. You can get honed in, but it's like it's the best of both worlds. So you can kind of get in that like the downward of the indica, like getting in the pocket with still the upbeatness. So like you're still like you'll strive for a while.
Oh,
and I was
cool,
like,
dude.
I was like, hell yeah! So it's the best of both worlds. Like,
see, like cool. With the gummies that I've got or whatever, dude. Like for a while, like that's at the starting of it. That's how I felt. Like I felt like I was so in the zone. I was like fucking there on my guitar. I was just like playing, and then at like 20 minutes of that.
Dude, that story cracks me up.
Dude, I was so
fucked up. Because I feel like you were on your fret like this.
I probably was, dude. But
like just looking right at it.
Dude, I felt like I was on my fretboard, dude. I was like just blowing this riff out of the water, and then and then I realized how fucked up I was getting, and I was like getting even more. And what movie was that? The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I was watching that movie. Have you seen it, dude? Worst movie to get high to, because the story is just like so fucking crazy.
It's sporadic too.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I can't focus on anything.
When he stomps the table and it like hits that dude in the chin.
Yeah.
Or like shoots him.
I was cool at that point, but whenever they got into like they were pretty much the Oregon Trail type story, the chick was like trying to go to wherever. I can't even remember that story at all. Like I honestly have no recollection of what happened there from that moment on. Nothing. But yeah, so like. But that's how I felt at the starting of that. I was like super in the zone, like running fucking amazing.
That's how those.
I was like, yes.
When I was at the
hybrid sounds so good.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. But like, so I pounded that brownie before I went to the festival night one, and I was like, yeah, I got like 3 hours. We'll be good. It'll be kicked in. I'll be fine. I go there, meet like the people around me, and I'm like, it's cool. I've already eaten it. Still not feeling anything. And I'm like, all right, man. Like we're good. And then they go. All right, so this is a beer festival with 500 plus breweries and over like 1,000 beers pouring at one time.
Oh my god!
Like, it's a huge festival. It's like the craft beer festival of America. Yeah. And as soon as the dude he walks up and he goes, "All right, we're letting everyone in," I like hit the wall, like the edible wall, and I was like, and it was like everything stopped, and I was like, oh. Fuck. And I was like, what do you mean you're like everybody?
Everyone's going in?
And then the next thing I know, like the volunteers like, hey man, you've been standing behind the booth for 3 hours talking to people. He's like, you can go walk around. And I was like, I remember looking at him like, but my place is here. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, but I talk about my beer here. Like, you don't know anything about it. This is what I do. And he was like, yeah, but you can go walk around and try other beers. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess like.
Oh my god.
So after that, I was like, oh, ease up on the medibles out there, man. Like,
Nice.
Yeah. I caught myself. I had an edible. It's probably been a couple months ago, but it wasn't like a brownie. It was like, you know, like a piece of. It was kind of like a piece of candy. And
Like a hard candy type thing, or
yeah, and I cut it in half, so I didn't even have the whole thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, my
But-
tolerance is shit.
I found this. What was it? God, Richard Pryor. It was
Oh
like
my
a.
God,
It was
he's
a.
hilarious,
It was
dude.
like a 1970, 30-minute stand-up on YouTube of Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
He did Mudbone. I don't know if you've ever seen Richard Pryor, but he does a character called Mudbone. It's basically like an old black dude that tells stories from his childhood or whatever. And I was like, it was like binoculars on the TV, and I was just in it, and he was like telling this story, and like, it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. But I was just like in the zone watching it.
Man, so like one
It was
time
so
I
cool.
was at my dad's house in Atlanta, and I got really bad on like I know this is like a stupid thing to really get on, but like NyQuil. Like every single night I had to drink NyQuil, and I got to the point where I was like drinking more and more of the NyQuil to get sleepy and stuff. Cause
Dang, you're like on that lean.
dude, no shit, dude, yeah. But like, man, I would be like, cause I can't sleep. I still have a problem, and like I'll eat take melatonin gummies instead now, right? Cause dude, NyQuil.
have you
will
tried
fuck
the
you up.
CBD stuff then? Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
week?
I have CBD gummies and they work.
Because I think Dad,
eat like 2 or 3.
my
of those.
dad's been doing that, and he's like,
It works.
he said it helps him like fall asleep quicker.
Yeah.
He said he's always hard to.
Yeah. Well, for me, like, I think I tried it first because I had a cold, and then
Yeah.
I just kept on drinking it, and if I ever had trouble going to sleep,
You're
at
like-
3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, turn up some NyQuil. But, dude, one night, dude, I freaking drank, like, probably
Perp.
half of, yeah,
It's
drinking
perp.
some of that perp,
It's
man.
just straight perp.
Dude.
Codeine.
Yeah. Codeine and a little Kool-Aid, man.
Dude, it's so easy to get codeine.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
All you have to do is have like a freaking tonsils. If your tonsils hurt, they'll just give you codeine.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Like, not me personally, I don't know, but
Yeah,
some
yeah.
friends, like,
They're like,
just go to the doctor
damn,
and they're
dude, I
like,
didn't know.
my tonsils hurt.
They're like, oh man.
Sir, you've got
CVS,
tonsil surgery when you
codeine.
were 12 years old.
You just roll up to
You're
the...
like, hey, quit asking questions.
You just roll
Yeah,
up
yeah,
to the window at CVS and you're like,
Codeine.
To go, please.
Yeah.
You've already
They'll
got the
slap,
Kool-Aid in
they'll
there.
slap
You've already
like
got
the
Kool-Aid in
to
there.
go lid on top.
Yeah.
They're like,
they already have
here's your-
they already have Sprite
Yeah.
and the codeine right
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to worry about it.
But, dude, I was watching a movie. I drank, like, a good bit of NyQuil, and I was trying to go to sleep, but I couldn't still. And I'm watching a movie, watching Observe and Report. Have you ever seen it? Dude,
Yeah.
Was that Seth Rogen?
could not breathe. I was laughing so hard when that shit happened. Oh, my God,
the
dude.
fucking the streaker dude.
Yeah, he
like-
slaps a dick picture on his forehead, and I was like, dude, I was laughing so loud. I'm in my dad's basement because we were visiting for, like, something, I don't know. And, like, my room's here. My dad's, like, there's a middle floor upstairs in here. My dad heard me laughing from the basement, dude. It's like 3 in the morning, and I'm, like, dying.
Oh,
It's so
God.
funny, dude.
That's classic.
Yeah, anytime you're messed up watching something, it's...
It just makes it
Just makes
10
it that
times
much
better
better.
usually.
Reminds me of a lot of like the old ROXY times, man. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when we went on tour that one time, and we went to your dad's,
Yeah.
and he had like a fridge full of Heineken.
My dad.
And me,
Yeah,
Nick,
well, the Heine dude.
Mhm.
me and Nick and Corey and
Mhm.
freaking David, we were all just pounding Heinekens all night, and
I don't remember.
we
where-
watched like freaking the 3rd Resident Evil movie.
Nice.
And
Classic.
Yeah,
And
gets
it-
blacked out after
it was
that.
actually, like, as we were watching it, I was like, this movie's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you've had too many Heinekens.
Yeah.
Because it's not really that great.
Yeah, Resident Evil 1 and maybe 2 is pretty alright, but after that, you kind of
Third one, it's like, she did like a backflip out of a window and landed on the ground perfectly from like 30 stories high. What's going
That's
on?
where like Mila Jovovich is like
Yeah.
the only like bright spot in the movie.
Yeah,
and
you're like-
exactly.
you're like, oh yeah, that's why I watched this movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Underworld 3. You know?
Yes,
You're like-
Right?
Yes.
You're like, oh, Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah.
I'll
can
watch
do
it.
that.
Like when they pulled her out, there was the one where they pulled her out.
I
of
know,
it. And I was
dude,
like,
that probably got
eh.
like a 12 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
It's a 0 now that the new standards with the... Did you watch the new Dave Chappelle?
I didn't.
Dude,
I haven't seen it yet. Have you Sticks and Stones.
I've heard
It's on the list.
he's like a little rough in it. But
There's some parts in that. Well, like, okay, I guess it depends on like your
It's
political standpoint.
It's cancel culture. It's not.
It is.
It's not necessarily that it's crazy.
yeah.
It's just people that have these certain ideals
Yes.
think it's.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're like super on the like, if you're on the like liberal end of the thing, then you might be like offended by some of the jokes he says. But it's hilarious,
Yeah.
dude. If you're just going in there and like, look,
Just
this
wanting
guy's
to laugh.
comedian,
It's
he's
comedy.
funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who they make fun of. If it's funny, it's funny. And I know that he's not trying to be an asshole. He's just being funny about stuff. Like, did y'all hear his transgender joke? The thing that first set everybody off on him. He was talking about like how he was like, can you imagine a bunch of dudes in the locker room, and one of the guys is like, yo, bro, I think I'm gonna cut my dick off, and like. That was for me hilarious. The way he said it and
Yeah.
everything was like so funny.
Yeah.
And he was like, it is funny. Like you at least got to look at it in like a comedy sense.
Yeah.
Like a dude is gonna cut his dick off, and then,
But he also the reason he said that is like they're serious.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
there's
he's
not
like,
there's not a guy in this world that would cut his dick off for a joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he was talking about like how he was like, you want to be called a woman? Well, fuck, you cut your dick off, dude. I'll call you whatever you want me to call you. Like you're obviously
Yeah.
you feel like that, and everybody just went off about that. Like everybody just hated him for it or whatever. But now his new joke, I don't want to give it away, but it's pretty funny, dude.
Hell
and it's
yeah.
even more relatable. It's hilarious.
I'll have
dude.
to check
It's
it
so
out.
funny.
Did you see any of the Netflix specials before that though?
No, I didn't
Like
get a
the-
chance to. No.
Like the kicker rat and
Dude.
pussy.
yeah. He's talking about how he's
That-
like the greatest comedian. Dude, I swear, the one before
He said
Sticks
he-
and Stones.
He starts with the punchline, right?
Yeah,
that was the
that's what it
punchline.
was. Yeah.
Kicker rat and the pussy. He just had that punchline.
He said he's got like a fishbowl of punchlines.
and he
so
just pulled one out,
then
and that's
come
the
up
one
with
that he
it.
came up with. And then he had
So funny, dude.
he created the joke around that punchline.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
So
Dude,
like
I
he
swear, though.
tells that story in the beginning of the
Yeah,
comedy special, and
Yeah.
by the end of it, he comes back around to what he was talking about.
dude, I swear, it's so
That's
funny.
awesome. Stoked that dude's back.
I know, me too, man.
For real,
Yeah, like I
for
don't know
real.
really where he went. I think he went to
I think-
Ohio. Ohio.
No, I thought he went
He
to
went to
Africa.
yeah, he
Africa.
went
He
somewhere
went to
for a
Africa.
little while, but then
I think he
ended
just had
up-
to like. It was one of those things. He's like, I just got.
He's like so famous.
I'm pretty
that
sure
he
what it
went-
was is he saw what legitimate Hollywood was like, and he was
Yeah.
like, I gotta
Fuck
get out of
this.
here.
Well, I
Yeah.
think he lost control of like what he wanted to do with the show too,
Yeah.
and they were like
Yeah.
trying to like, hey, you should do this, and he's like, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I wanna do this thing.
Dude, and if you watch that special, there's a part in there that he's talking about a couple of times that he had to go to, I can't remember what it's called, but it's pretty much HR of like these shows. So like he filmed something in there that wasn't like, it was extremely incorrect politically.
Yeah,
And he was like,
like
they called him in
all the great like Chappelle show like skits.
Yeah, dude, holy
Like,
shit.
I mean, every single plead the fifth, every
Yeah.
single one of them.
yeah.
The internet, if it was real, and he's
Yeah,
like going
dude.
there and Ron Jeremy's like showing around.
Yeah, dude. I swear. So like he had so many of them that were like that, but he said one word that was like crossing the line, and they pulled him into this office, and they're like, "Hey, Dave, you can't say this word," and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no big deal." And then like on his way out of the office, he was like, "But why can I say?" And he said the N word. He was like, "Why can I say this, but I can't say this word?" And she was like, I don't know. Either way, it was pretty much a derogatory word
Yeah.
about gay people, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to say that in his episode, and he was like, "Well, why can I say the N word, but I can't say this?" And
Yeah.
she was like, "Because you're not gay." And he was like, "I'm not the N word either." And I don't know, dude. It was just
That's a lie.
the way
Yeah.
his joke was
Yeah.
hilarious, dude.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing that you say that though, like the Richard Pryor stand up, like
Mhm.
in the beginning before he started telling the Mudbone story, he was talking about
Do we want to go dark, or we want to dip into these other ones?
if we start drinking more, like I swear, I'm about to explode with urine. Like I've got to take such a huge piss.
You want to try the smaller ones, or the newer ones?
Well, it doesn't matter to me. It's up to you guys.
I'm down with the newer ones, man. If you want to,
Newer
because
ones?
I don't know.
I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
how much time we got on the
What,
SD cards.
What are you feeling? Joe Birte or the Invisible Swordsman?
I don't know, man. The Invisible Swordsman
Which
sounds
one's
pretty
which?
good, but
So that's the Mexican lager, and then I don't.
yeah, the Joe
Did you watch
Birte's,
the
like,
Did you watch
darker.
the Three Amigos?
Yeah, forever ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that's a Three
Nice.
Amigos nod,
Okay.
man. The Invisible
That's been a long
Swordsman.
time
you know?
ago, dude. Holy shit.
So that's like where they gotta summon. They gotta go to find the singing bush, not the flaming bush. They find the singing bush, and they gotta summon the invisible swordsman. They all
It's
read
been
their.
so long since I watched that movie.
Seriously.
Dude. Like 90s.
The
probably.
only thing
Holy
that I
shit.
remember from that movie is Steve Martin with a sombrero.
Yeah.
That's basically the only thing I remember from that movie.
So
That's pretty much.
can these today?
Yeah. Just I lobbed him in today. I didn't write All Nice on the Invisible Swordsman. But
Because it's the invisible.
it is
Yeah,
invisible.
maybe it is written on
That's
there.
how you know.
I can't.
There's nothing written.
I can't wait for this can design too. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So like you totally made this one. This is your ingredient, and they're designing
The cool-
for you and everything.
Yeah. So this would be like my. Fuck. Yeah, you got it. So yeah, my recipe and everything. Dude, go rock a piss.
Let
The
it
cool
go.
thing about the cups, though,
We'll
is
sit here and drink a poppers, man.
I kind of like
I've been watching Letterkenny a lot.
Dude, I want to get in that show more. I just haven't really done it yet.
the cool thing
It
about
looks
That's
hilarious.
great.
about the cup though is I kind of like seeing the color
Mm-hmm.
of the beer.
Yeah.
you can
I
see-
always like seeing the color,
This beer
so it's
is
cool.
stupid clear.
When you were pouring it, I was like, it looks clear to me.
No, it's
I was like,
insanely
what?
clear. So it's gonna be a little corny because it's 30%. Like I think we do like 30%.
You can
corn.
smell it.
Yeah, you definitely can.
It's right there,
Mhm.
like right in your face.
Get that corn out of my face. Not
But
too
it's
great style.
so.
Oh,
drinkable.
dude, holy shit!
It's so fucking
you can taste
good.
that a lot.
It's so good.
I mean, it's almost a little bit popcorny.
I can see that
A little bit,
I can see that.
like just like
Yeah.
right on top.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess
And
that's
it's
like
not
the
really-
qualification
it's
of a
gotta really-
Mexican lager. You need a certain percentage of corn, and then like
Yeah. Do they what do they use like for their hop? Is it corn masa or whatever? Or
So we use just flake corn. It's like pretty much just flaked corn.
that's good, dude. That's really good.
No, this thing is gonna be
Yeah.
It's like I love the Lawn Patrol, but I think this is more drinkable than the Lawn Patrol.
Yeah. It's got more of a smoother taste, just overall. What do you
Dude, I have to go. I'm gonna.
Just let it-
I'm gonna
okay.
die.
Let it
I'm
happen.
gonna die.
You're gonna hear him fall down the damn stairs for a second. 3.5 beers deep. It's probably colder out there than it is in here.
It
dude.
probably is,
It's
man.
so hot in here. I don't know why it gets so hot.
I had to pull the hair out though.
Yeah.
I was trying to wait, and then I was like, oh
Fuck,
man,
yeah,
like
it's warm. I don't even know, dude. It's probably.
I don't know
yeah,
how
it's
long we've
probably
been doing this for either. So
I don't know. It's
these things, I always love doing stuff like this, man. Because like you
Yeah.
get talking, and then you're like, wait, we talked for 2 hours.
Yeah, no shit. Dude, we had to get like newer SD cards because the ones that I had were running out really quick.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like an hour and 14 or something. I think this is like 2 hours and something, so we should be good.
Hell yeah.
But I got it. Jody just got me a new one, and it's like 250 gigs, and we put it in. We do like the fellas episodes, just one camera, so the camera would be like right there, and we
Yeah.
just do it from this way. And it was like 9 hours of filming time, and they're plugged in, so they can be on for like however long. It's fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy shit,
That's awesome.
dude. But the guy that designs like these,
Yeah.
is he a local dude for y'all?
So he is a local guy. I think the only one he didn't do was that I brought so far, the Swamper, which is the porter we haven't had yet.
Uh-huh.
It would be the Oktoberfest, but he's done both of these. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, dude, he's a local dude, local musician too. So
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
dude, it's crazy how many
Muscle Shoals,
big
man.
dudes. There's a lot of like big
that's a
big
huge
people
place.
down there.
Mhm.
But so he has like a t-shirt shop too, like a screen
That's
printing
cool.
shop. So
Yeah.
he does that. He'll hand paint canvases and stuff for
Mhm.
certain people, like do album artwork for stuff, like
Yeah, that's
people
cool.
and like
Yeah. This
badass,
guy, this one, that long white one right here,
Uh-huh.
and that one, and I think I've got another one somewhere.
hell
Might be
yeah.
in my house. But you know, Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
That's Jordan Buckley. Did that one, and that one, and somewhere else. There's another thing. Oh, it's
Badass.
behind this guitar. It's
Oh,
actually
okay.
like a pig flying.
Badass, man. And
But,
then
uh,
also like Diagora, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you like? Yeah. There's, I don't know. It's a cool place, dude. But I freaking I just love his style of
Yeah.
artwork, man. It's pretty cool. But like, do you get much influence in what the design's gonna look like on your beer now?
Yeah, for sure. So like we're gonna meet. So on the Invisible Swordsman, like we've already like we talk. So usually like as far as like inception of the idea, especially if we're going off a name, I have a general idea of like
Yeah.
what I'm feeling,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited. Like this will be my first time like sitting down and collaborating with him,
Yeah.
and so like we can actually because the other place I was at, I wanted to do stuff like that, and he was always just like,
Nah, I can't do it.
like, oh, we're gonna do this basic thing. It was just like words. It was cool. It was retro, like whatever. But it wasn't like, you know, a lot of breweries are dropping real badass can art.
That's cool as shit, dude.
I love this. So I guess
And
that's their theme is like the skull now. So like we're gonna ride that bad boy all the way out. Like just keep skulls intermingled in.
The skeleton on
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get to sit down, man, and like I'll kind of get to give him my vision, and then he'll take it and he'll do his thing with it. So
what are you envisioning for this one?
So this one, you know, like so the three amigos, you know, they go they go to the singing bush. They all three of them have to read their little thing. Fire a shot in the air. And so it gets to Chevy Chase, you know, first two, Steve Martin and Martin Short fire their shots in the air, read their thing. And then Chevy Chase says his. And it's like, as he's doing it, his gun goes over to the side. And then he fires it and he hits the invisible swordsman. You hear, ah! And then he like falls in the dirt. And they're like, oh God, you killed the invisible swordsman. Like, so we're going to have three, kind of like the movie poster where they're all dressed up in their three amigos outfits. With two skeletons firing two guns in the air. And then the third one's going to be firing off to the side. Yeah. Like at the desert scene.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
And they kind of have like a little like dust imprint of the invisible swordsman on the back and like have a cute little like fucking saying on the... That's the fun part too, is like writing the little words to go on the cans.
Dude, that's very cool.
I'm pretty sure I ran into like this huge spider web out there.
Dude, there is a huge spider out there. And I sprayed him off, but dude, we had a wasp episode. We're probably gonna have a spider one. Now I'm gonna see like this huge fucking. Dude, the spider's like that big. He's fucking huge out there.
What the hell?
I know.
I wish you would have warned me.
I didn't know he was gonna be like webbing his shit up again.
No, like I like turned this way, and as soon as I turn, I hear, and I like, it's like, oh my god.
It's so big he can hear it moving. It's a big ass spider, dude.
That is a big ass spider. It's like arachnophobia.
Oh, I swear to God, I can't stand spiders, dude.
Really?
Spiders and me, yeah.
I even like big garden spiders. Those are my fave. Like,
dude,
the real big ones.
The garden spiders don't bother me.
Cause you know they're doing good.
Yeah, they're killing other spiders. Yeah. I used to would like kill them, cause I hate spiders. But like, I killed one of them and it had its babies on its back.
Oh.
It was like a baby spider bomb, and I was like, ah! Worst fear of my life.
Yeah, spiders always freaked me out. I was never able to make it all the way through arachnophobia.
I don't know. Just
because of my fear.
Started watching it, I don't think.
Even though Jeff Daniels was in it.
That is why I brought it up.
He was the hero.
Nice. Dude, yeah, I just made this.
No, dude, this thing looks great, man.
Thank you. I just did this like a couple of days ago, and like we had this freaking stupid little shade here, and that was like the same color as the wall, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking zombie it up. And I wanted to shove Rufus back here where Jeff Daniels is, but then he was like too thick because this is actually like foam behind here.
Yeah.
Some places, I don't know, but yeah, and then Jeff Daniels. Somehow I got an AARP sent to my house and Jeff Daniels' face. So I was like, that is actually really creepy, Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, he needs to be back there.
Yeah.
That's a good spot for Jeff.
It works, Jeff. I hope he watches this podcast. You never know.
I mean, it looks legit. It looks like, you know.
I was kind of going for like a Call of Duty Zombies thing, you know?
No, you definitely hit it. That's what I figured you were going for.
Oh, yeah. Call of Duty Zombies. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I get
you gotta have an episode where you try to rip it down.
I just want somebody to be coming through the window.
Yeah, someone's gonna try to come through, and then you gotta try to like put it back together.
Just had the whole podcast with them like hanging through the thing, just talking. We Andrew Hall, man, freaking, he came on here not too long ago, and he had he's got like this fake skeleton. I can't remember what he calls the skeleton guy.
Yeah,
but, dude. He had him on here, and I was wanting to like swap out my brother Nick for the skeleton midway through the episode, and just have him dressed up the same and just like propped the same way. So maybe.
Oh, that'd been hilarious, yeah.
How was it working with Andrew, dude? He's like one of my favorite people in the world. So
dude,
I don't know how he is working with.
It was great.
I told him like, I ran into him the other day at Jersey Mike's.
Is he still the same? Because I imagine he's still
exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to him, and I was like, dude. I was like, Andrew is like a cartoon character.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he is.
Like, you just talk to him, and like you can just see him as like this cartoon drawing.
Yeah, he's got like he's got like certain mannerisms too that like this like very classic Andrew, but like it was kind of the same thing. Like he's pretty like a solemn dude, and like doesn't show like even if he's fucking with you, he doesn't show like a lot of like emotion
about him, dude.
Like, and then he'll be serious. And I remember there was so many times where he'd say shit, and you're like. Like, are you, like, or do you really want me to do that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're the one that's fucking stupid. 2, you are the manager. I really don't know if you're fucking me.
I might get fired.
I want to say, like, I think my favorite, I think Andrew was here this time. Either Andrew or Jared. I think it was Andrew. But, like, we had that old TV upstairs.
And we went on the roof?
Yeah,
we
we
there?
Yeah, we wanted to throw it out, projection. And it's, so we go do it, and then Andrew was like, alright, now you guys go clean it up. We were like, what? This is like your whole thing, man. You wanted to do this. He was like, yeah, I know, but I don't want to clean it up, so that's your job.
Dude, I remember
was
throwing
like,
those
what?
TVs off the thing, man. We
Oh,
threw
that's
them
a
off
good
the side
time.
of the
Yeah, we like opened it and ran and just like...
That was so fun, dude, because we had talked about it. He had been, like, collecting old TVs just for that moment. He was like, dude.
That's why he's like a cartoon character. Who does that?
And we filled up those balloons with ices, didn't we? Or, like, something, I think, like, filled up balloons with, like, icy mix or something.
That sounds like some shit Dylan would have done.
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I remember throwing those TVs off the roof. That was so fucking fun, dude. Yeah, he called me. It was, like, random time in the afternoon. He was like, John, get over to the ROXY. We're doing it. I was like, okay, I'll be right there. I didn't even ask him. I knew what he was talking
He was
about.
like, say no more.
I
On the
already
way.
knew, dude. I already knew, because, like, he had been collecting, like, old TVs, old tube TVs, just for this moment.
Dude, the ROXY, man, such a weird fucking beast of an establishment.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still the same, but like, dude, the old crew back in the day was like,
Dude, that was so fun.
we did some fun shit.
I was there, like, every day almost. Just randomly would come up, say what's up to Andrew, and we play music or play,
Like
games
upstairs in
upstairs.
projection. Probably the creepiest projection I've ever been in, but like, it was
Yeah.
a good time. ROXY Ghost would visit you sometimes, you know?
Dude, I'd go there after hours, like, whenever they practice and stuff. It was so fucking creepy.
Yeah, especially closing it down by yourself.
I can imagine that'd be fucking weird, man.
I imagine Andrew always
Bad.
loved that.
Yeah, he would.
I just feel like he did.
Dude,
I don't know, because I would always like be on edge. Like whenever I do it, I'd be like, because you get up there and it's just pitch black, except for
Yes.
the one projector still running on the was it 35mm film, man? Like,
all the way back
dude,
there
like
in the
all
back.
the way in the back
Fuck.
corner. I remember that was the one time like I was like, yeah, I'll stay behind and like shut everything down. And I went all the way down there, and they had that fucking head on a saucer that would talk randomly, like and you
dude,
wouldn't, no one would walk by and then start talking, and you're like,
And then whenever you walk by it, wouldn't even talk.
no, and then
Oh,
so I was
fuck,
like,
man.
I was like, oh man.
I think Andrew fucked with that thing. There's
He
some
probably-
way he's probably like a mechanical engineer of some kind that like fucked with that thing so it would go off.
Yeah, I totally wigged myself out that night though, because I remember I looked down like right where the door was where you came up,
Yeah.
and I remember I looked down there and I saw someone go like peek.
No
And then do
shit,
that.
are you serious?
That's what my head saw, and I was
That's
like,
probably what happened, dude.
and I just stepped away. I couldn't look anymore.
Oh,
and
fuck.
I was like, till the movie was done, and then I was
Yeah.
like, shut everything off, and I was like, all right, man,
Mm-hmm.
beeline it.
Yeah.
It was just gone. I was like, nope.
It's kind of funny because, like, you work there, so, like,
Yeah.
I mean, knowing, like, the general public does not know the shit at the ROXY like you do, you know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
like, and doesn't know the same people and stuff, so, like, whenever I was going there, like, all the time, I'd always go hang out with Andrew, we'd write music and stuff like that, so, like, I was there, like, 4 or 5 times a week, and, like, I knew everybody that worked there.
Yeah.
And so whenever I first brought Jody to a movie, she's like, oh, let's meet up at the movies. And I knew she liked to eat. And she liked to eat, like, fucking pilly meat shrimp and just random shit, right? So I was like, I'll fucking bring some food. We'll go watch a movie.
Yeah.
It was like 7 o'clock. And she's like, all right, well, let's go get some concessions. I was like, nah, I got this. So I, like, have a whole fucking bag from Kroger's. I walk in, and everybody else is getting popcorn and shit. I've, like, got, like, pill and eat shrimp, fucking, like, we're just eating random stupid shit. And she's like, this is so weird. Like, I don't know, man. It's just... And it's kind of weird, too, because we used to always watch, like, movies before they were
Beforehand,
released.
yeah.
And, like,
So back in the day, when Andrew would build them ahead of time,
Yeah.
he's like,
They were
you gotta
so
watch
fun.
and make sure everything's kosher, and
Yeah.
he'd be like, yeah, man, watch this movie like Wednesday night, like
yeah,
2 nights early.
Yeah, it's weird, like, after doing that, to go in and watch them in public, because, like, you get to talk to your friend about what just happened on this
Yeah.
movie. Dude, like, there's this movie, Hall Pass, that we watched.
Yeah.
Were you there, though?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Dude, the funniest thing about that movie is, like, we're watching it, and some shit happened with the projector. I don't know, but somehow he didn't splice it right or something like that, so it went down, right? It's, like, a whole roll of us watching the movie, and they, like, I can't remember what happened beforehand, but somebody went up, like Andrew's like cussing, fucking walking down the stairs, going back up to fix the thing. So he goes up there, fixes it, and as soon as he cuts it back on, there's like 2 dicks on the screen. You're like, what the fuck? As soon as he kicks it back on, it's like this dude wakes up and he's like passed out. And
Yeah,
like
he's in a hot tub.
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
It's
man.
so funny, dude. It's like me and a lot of people, everybody there just died.
There's nothing like watching a movie like with just like you and your buds like in a movie theater. Like,
yeah, just chill.
and like you can be as rowdy as you fucking want.
Yeah.
You most times you're crushing beers and you
Yeah.
bought a whole pizza in or whatever.
We watched it was the thing.
The newer thing?
The new one.
The second one, yeah.
The
I
second
remember
one.
that. That was fun.
And you invited me to it, and it was like before. It was like the pre-production.
Yeah.
Whatever. And somebody had like a cooler full of land shark,
Yeah.
and they were just
I'm
giving
pretty
them
sure
out.
it was one of the, well,
I was probably
It was-
there for that one too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
pretty
what-
close. I love that movie.
And I was
Yeah.
like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
It's pretty much like what we did. That was like
Yeah.
Roxy Air Hockey League and
Yeah.
shit too, man. Just like
Dude, that was so fun. I wish that, like, Andrew's still the manager too, man. So
Yeah.
I wish it was, like, more like that now, but
I don't know how like the dynamic like for who works there now. I feel like they would definitely like we used to get into some fucking fun shit. Like,
yeah, dude.
But like you said, the inner workings behind a movie theater is like
Nobody
the
knows.
general
so much
consumer. Like
Yeah.
it takes a weird human to work in a movie.
Yeah,
theater.
I could definitely
Right?
It's no one's normal.
Yeah.
Usually the normal ones fizz out pretty quick too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You gotta
They're, like,
be-
working at the concession stand for,
Yeah.
like, a few weeks, and then they're out.
and then they're like, ah man, I don't know about this. You guys are weird. And you're
Yeah.
like, we're the weird ones.
You told us that story of he had to pull that kid's arm out of the urinal.
Oh, my God.
remember?
Did you hear about that one?
No.
He, like, slicked butter. He got, like, melted butter and, like, poured it in the urinal.
And he had
This
to
kid's, like,
get the
screaming.
butter from like the popcorn thing.
Why did he put his hand in the urinal?
The
Right.
kid, like the dad, came and got Andrew.
Yeah.
I was like,
The
you
kid
gotta
shoved his
help
arm in
me.
a fucking urinal. And he said
He,
it was
like-
stuck
It was like
here
up to his
on a urinal.
elbow, and he like the kid's legs, and he was like
I've
pulling.
just seen Andrew pulling something.
And the dad was like yelling at him or some shit.
That's
Oh my
so
God.
funny, man.
He said there was like a serial pooper, like some tube.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
like
well,
writing
alright.
poop on the walls. Were you
Really?
there?
I don't remember poop writing on the walls, but I will say like, you would be surprised by how much shit a movie theater employee has to clean up.
Like literally the shit.
Like just like shit.
That's like prison.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I was second week, man. That was my second week. They made me. Classic
There's a-
Roxy too.
Yeah.
Classic Roxy. It was
We're gonna weed out, see if you're weak or not.
Kevin,
Yeah.
Kevin Reynolds, man.
Oh,
Kevin
God.
Reynolds and I think Austin Dean. Like,
Fucking awesome.
dude, those dudes they go, hey bud, you're the new guy.
This
Someone
shit.
shit on the floor. They clean this up, and I was like, wait, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, cool, we got gloves. And they're like, no.
Nah, bro.
And then so but they
Here's
like
these
tied,
trash.
they tied trash like tiny trash bags like to my arms.
Yep.
And so like I had one that like scooped and then we like pulled it in, and the other was like the scrubber, and then you
fuck.
pull that one in, and I was like, we had to do all kinds of janky shit there.
Yeah. Did he used to tell me about stuff that happened at what is it, senior day or whatever, senior citizen time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
Fuck, dude, senior days.
Yeah.
Screw
some
that,
gross
man.
shit.
So
And some
good.
funny stuff. Like, I don't know, man.
It's
crazy.
still like the Roxy was a weird breed. So I worked
Yeah.
at Carmike when I was in Cookville too. The movie theater's movie theater, but like
Yeah.
more corporate.
Mhm.
But
Was the
no,
Roxy
actually
a lot
had-
more different?
that was way different.
Yeah.
Oh, you got away with a ton of shit at the Roxy. You're pretty much like no holds barred there.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
like I don't know how it is now, but like it was pretty much a free for all. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I think like, fuck, I was drinking moonshine on the clock.
Nice.
I don't know, like,
fucking-
like you just like nabbing like all the popcorn and candy
Yeah.
you wanted. You just
I
like,
know, like, towards the end, like, before I stopped hanging out there a whole lot, and I don't really know why I stopped going there so much, but, like, before I stopped doing that, like, it got to where, I mean, Andrew, like, opening night of, like, the last Harry Potter movie that
Yeah.
came out or whatever, he was like, there's all these people dressed up in Harry Potter stuff, like, fucking raging, ready to go, and he was like, oh, hey, John, and I walked right in front of everybody that was going to watch that movie. Everybody's like, fuck you! Walking right in, get in the middle seat, and he was like, all right, go for it. And it was sold out, so like 2 people had to stand up somewhere. I don't know who had to do it.
Oh,
but, like,
damn.
Yeah, it was like me and a date, and he was like, "Oh, go on, John." And I was like, "Cool, thanks." And then like,
But he just didn't care.
yeah,
That's
but no, I
the
know,
beautiful
like,
thing about
Yeah,
Andrew, man. He's
I
doing
love that
shit.
guy.
Mhm.
I swear.
I can't remember what it was, but it was like one of the last times that I went, and I was like, and it wasn't something that I was like, Andrew, hook me up. It was just
Yeah.
like something he was like, dude, if you come here, just let me know, just go in, all right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. But one of the last times I went, he was like, nah, I can't do it. I was like, fuck.
Dude, so I think Disney started like
Yeah.
Star Wars because
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
a
I
Star
went like
Wars
a few years
movie.
ago and they were like,
Mhm.
yo, like if you come in like 4 weeks, like yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, damn man,
But
like,
it's
I guess I
oh,
understand.
I gotta watch it, man. I gotta watch it now.
I gotta know. I
Yeah,
gotta know.
yeah. I'm gonna read this shit online. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I like, and it's kind of weird too, cause like the ROXY has like it's kind of like an older style theater now. Like
Yeah.
you've got all these like AMC's that are doing like fucking like reclining chairs and bringing food to you
Dude,
and shit.
AMC is legit.
So AMC bought out all the car mics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AMC in Bellevue and that new
Fucking
plaza.
legit.
Money.
Yeah.
It's so
It is.
freaking good.
And they
Yeah.
still
Like they
have
have
like
a bar.
$5 Tuesdays.
They have a
and stuff.
bar in there.
Mhm.
Man, I went to one up somewhere and like they had an icy that like infused like it was like a shot or 2 of
No
Crown
shit.
into the icy.
Yeah.
It was like a
Oh,
Crown
you're, like,
icy.
pouring it in there.
It just they just did this and it like
What
poured
the
the booze
fuck?
in there and I was just like $9 and I was like, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, kind of like
Yes.
Yeah.
I want white cherry icy with fucking
Yeah.
Crown.
Yeah, dude. You get to pick like what you want to do.
Give me the mega with free refills.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh
That's
man,
insane.
yeah, I would pay $15 for free refills.
Yeah, hell
I'd pay
yeah.
20.
Yeah.
You mean free refills? I'll be there 5 times. That's cool. Like,
Dude, I went and watched that the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie and got like, I mean, kind of partially hammered in the
Yeah?
theater. Yeah, and like not on purpose. They had like a drink and I was like,
he's over 9,000.
yeah, dude. It was pretty good. I can't remember what it was, like what drink they had, but it was like some kind of like a bad guy drink. It was like the
Oh,
can't remember what it was. It was like whatever big movie came out at the
Yeah.
time. There's like a bad guy version of it or whatever.
Thanos.
Yeah, and so I had one of those. I was like, that looks cool. And dude, like, double shotted me on accident, like, or on purpose
Hell
one. But I was
yeah.
talking to the dude. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, just had a conversation with him,
Yeah.
and he just kept pouring. I was like, fuck.
you're like, yeah, don't stop.
Yeah, just keep going, dude.
Don't stop.
Mhm.
I know I'm paying out the ass for this.
Yeah, it's
Keep
like
rolling.
$9.50 for this cup, but
Yeah.
it was good. And I got hammered while I was in there on accident.
Hell yeah. Dude, that's always a good time.
Broly
Yeah.
movie, man. It was a good movie.
Broly movie, was it?
Mhm. Yeah,
Have
I
you
like
seen this Kakarot, the video game coming out?
Yes, I have not actually seen gameplay of it, but
I watched a
I'm actually
little
stoked.
bit. Like,
Does it look good or no?
Dude, I think it's gonna be like open world.
I can't fucking
DBZ.
wait. That's what I've been waiting for. Because
Like,
all these
why
fighting
don't we
games, I'm
have
cool
that?
with it, but
Yeah, but like, dude, I just want to fly around.
yeah, I want to
just
explore
like
the world, dude.
maybe just like drop a Kamehameha every now and then, and like,
yes.
just-
Maybe hit a random spontaneous.
yeah, early,
person.
yeah. Can I
Fuck
just
it, man.
blow a whole planet up, like
Yeah.
down? But yeah,
Yeah.
like it was like pretty much like going through the
Open
old
world?
stuff, like fighting radits and
I'm
stuff.
gonna have
and,
to
like,
watch that shit. But it's open world though.
It looks like it. Like
Dude,
at least
if that
not
was
like
it-
completely, but at least sandboxy, kind of like at least like the new Spider-Man, I'd assume, which the new Spider-Man. was
Dude,
fucking-
yes, it was perfect, man.
Isn't it weird though that like, you know, you have Goku and he's like all powerful and all that shit,
Mhm.
eats a Zenzu bean, all,
like healed
Healed.
completely.
but what gets him is the heart disease.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, like poison or something like that. But then, I mean, he's good.
Trains in the freaking hyperbolic time chamber and
Yeah.
a heart disease.
Yes,
This is what
that's
gets
true.
him.
That is true. I never thought about it.
Like,
that.
what is he eating? Like,
Isn't that what gets us all at some point?
right?
One,
Is he
one
just
out of
eating
three
barbecue
people, it
ribs
says-
every
it
single
says
day
one
of
out
his
three
life?
People will die of heart disease.
It's probably
okay?
gonna be me.
Barbecue ribs,
I
bacon.
don't know. I drink energy drinks a good bit, so it might be.
That is
Yeah.
true.
I had an energy drink today. 3D.
3D, man. 3.
What were we talking about?
Heart disease related.
What were we talking about though? Energy drink wise. It had to do with like ADHD or something.
Oh yeah. Because like, well, you know, I was like diagnosed with ADHD whenever I was a kid, and they put me on like Ritalin, and then they put me on what is the other one?
Adderall.
Adderall.
There you go. So they had me on Ritalin first, then Adderall for like a 24-hour thing or whatever. But they're pretty much saying that like kids that were diagnosed with ADHD and then that actually like were prescribed something for it or whatever, a lot of them that came off of that are like pretty much supplying the energy drink like wave nowadays because everybody's
yeah.
like hyped up on some like their bodies are used to being like, you know,
Just like
pretty
that
pumped
hype.
up on. Yeah.
A lot of times though, honestly, like when I drink an energy drink, it just kind of levels me out.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember ever getting
'Cause,
like super.
Like, I have
No, I've
extremely-
never not off an energy drink.
Yeah, neither do I.
But no, like I hadn't had an Adderall for a minute, and then like a few years ago,
Yeah.
like I like someone was like, oh yeah, man, like I was like, oh whatever, like we'll
Yeah.
take this bad boy, and then
Yeah.
it was just like. I was
Were you really-
"Whoa," like, but it was focused energy.
Yeah.
It was like you getting this, like it was a zone thing. You're like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
here and you're
Yeah.
going, but it was just like, I was just so focused
Yeah.
and just like, just like.
I just.
It turns like the waves into a straight line.
Yeah, I wonder if now, if I took the same stuff I took whenever I was like fucking 9 to 12
Yeah.
to 13, 14.
But
But
somewhere
I think
in
like
that
as a
area.
kid, that's hard to diagnose because there's
Dude,
it's
that's
such a
so
broad
young.
spectrum
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Because like you could be this or like you could really be bipolar and then not know
Yeah,
it. Like you could
yeah,
have this and
never
like
know.
you're wrongly diagnosed and they're like, oh yeah, man, take this Adderall.
Yeah, take this
For like
Adderall.
7 years
Take
until like
speed,
some
dude.
shit happens. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And
You're
I
like,
mean,
oh, you didn't have ADHD.
I
Sorry.
wonder if I took it now, would I still have the same, like, would it chill me out? Or would it fucking, like, wake me the fuck up and I'd be crazy, like, Hulk for a few minutes, like, try to bite somebody's face off, like some Miami shit or something.
I don't
Like,
know. You already
what
got
would
the tendency to break noses. So.
I know. Dude, did I tell you about my own nose? What just
No.
happened yesterday? I'm pretty sure my wife somewhat cracked my nose.
You didn't tell me that.
No, well, I was messing with her, and I jumped on the bed, but, like, I just jumped, like, fucking wailed on the bed or whatever. And I
Like
tried to
out
lay
of the
my
water?
Yeah, I just, like, and I was trying to lay my face on the pillow, which I successfully did, not knowing that her shin was right above the pillow, and my nose went on her fucking shin. Full body, like, full face, too. I was like,
Shit.
and, like, she was like, oh my god, my leg. I was like, my nose. I'm pretty sure you broke it. I bled a little bit. It was good.
Hell
And
yeah.
now it's like fucking, she was like, your eyes look swollen. I was like, pretty sure you broke my nose. Like, legit. But
Abuse, man.
I
You didn't
know,
get a
I'm in an
shiner.
abusive relationship. I should have blown my nose and see if my eyes puffed up.
Right?
But
Dude,
yeah,
it's
man,
like a 1,000 degrees in here.
it is so hot, dude.
It is really odd.
Fuck, it's hot. I gotta work on this.
That-
Jeff Daniels supplies with like some quiet air conditioning.
That's
I mean,
how we're-
he's got a cool stare, but
That's how we're able to
Thousand
drink,
yard
though.
stare.
That's how we're able to keep drinking.
It's
We're
true.
just
it's true. He's sweating it right
We're
back
just sweating
out.
it right
Mhm.
out.
But yeah, in all honesty, I think we're probably running out of time because I know that says 2 something on there. So
2 minutes?
2 hours and something.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know exactly how long it's on there, but I know it's 2 hours and something. But man,
Yeah, dude.
fuck yeah,
This is fun.
yeah, dude. We gotta like, if it's not as hot as shit, it's a little bit better. It warms up really quick in this room. These freaking lights, dude.
I'll try to tone it down next time.
I know. It's
Yeah,
just,
like,
dude,
for real, though, these lights are like,
I'm surprised they haven't caught this place
they're
on
like,
fire.
each one is like an independent fireplace. But the heat projects down,
Yeah.
not up.
I
It's
like
okay,
that.
man. This is what I'm used to, man. We don't
Yeah.
have no AC in the brewery, so I'm
Ah,
just back
yeah.
here sweating all the time.
Dude,
so
yes.
If your beer's a little salty, it's from this.
it's the love.
Yeah,
The love.
You put a lot of love in this.
Yeah.
Dude, so this was the Invisible Swordsman?
That was the Invisible Swordsman.
I fucking dig it, dude. I fucking
Hell
dig
yeah.
it. That was a good one. Hell yeah.
I think that's gonna be a good one too.
Yeah. Is
I'll have
that,
to, once we get the cans done, man. I'll
yeah,
put
you
these
gotta
up,
send
dude.
me
Yeah.
some, dude. Give me
Heck
some.
yeah.
Those would be awesome. Dude, and like we put a lot of stuff around so we can like incorporate them in.
Yeah, no. We're gonna incorporate these cans.
Okay.
out
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Badass.
For sure. Dude. Hell yeah,
'Cause-
man. Well, brother, so like, do you have any words to maybe an inspiring brewer? out
I'm gonna go even more than like a brewer. I'm just gonna say like no matter what path you're following, if you find something that you love deep down, like try. I think everyone should at least try to follow that at some point to
Yeah.
a certain extent, like
there? Hell yeah.
because you never know, never like 27 especially. Never thought I'd be a head brewer.
Yeah. That's fucking huge, man.
Yeah, man. Like it's just one of those things. You know, just keep your head down, do what you can, and then
Mm-hmm.
if you're happy, I think happiness is a bigger thing than money too.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
do what makes you happy, and I think at the end of the day, you'll have a more fulfilled life.
Yeah.
That's really it. Like, cause I'm just trying to do that. And,
Yeah.
like, promote just I don't know.
I couldn't say that better myself, man.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
something Jim Carrey said that I agree with him 100% on. He was talking about like he gave a whole spill about how his dad was like a janitor for his whole life.
It was a
And he got it was like
speech for
some college.
some sort of Ivy League college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They invited him to speak, you know.
Mhm. And he pretty much said like his dad was a janitor. He hated his fucking job, and one day he got laid off doing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What am I gonna do now? I've been doing this my whole life." And he was like, "Hated it. What did I do this for?" And he was like, Jim Carrey's dad pretty much told him like, if you could fail doing something you hate, just try to do something that you love. And
You
you
might
will
as well
succeed.
fail doing something you love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead
exactly.
of fail doing something you hate.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, the crazy thing is, like, you've got your degree in chemical engineering.
Yeah,
Not
dude.
a lot of people can say that.
And then
That's cool as hell.
I choose to make
Yeah.
a hell of a lot less money.
Dude.
And do what the fuck I
Yeah.
want to do. So like,
Yeah.
I pretty much said, yeah, I just want to make a living
Yeah. Well, you know what, though,
and
dude?
do what I want. But at the end of the day, it's
Fuck
for
yeah.
me, it's worth it. I love
And
the hell out of
you
it.
are so much happier than a lot of people. I know
Yeah.
other people that have chemical engineering degrees.
Yeah.
I know just like 2 other dudes, and 2 of them have like moved away from like their family. They left their family, moved away, and fucking hate their life right now because of where they're at and the job they're in. And I'm always like, that sounds really interesting. What do? Do you like your job? They're like, I just test stuff mainly. I'm like,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's
Yeah.
the weird thing for me about like engineering is like, it's a glorified piece of paper to say like, oh man, we're competent enough to do this. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're gonna be just a cog in the machine,
yeah,
helping things run.
yeah,
You're never,
Mhm.
you're really not, you're not applying a ton of shit you learned. I
Mhm.
mean, I think like that's where like application degrees are
Yeah.
like way more beneficial. If I would have had 2 years of like theoretical school and then 2 years of hands-on,
yeah,
makes more sense. Then
Yeah.
you're like, oh man, like you can actually see where you're applying these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And like I do apply things I learned to this industry, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's a lot more. There's that artistic like.
I think
outlet.
I think, dude, honestly, you're able to be creative and artistic with what you're doing. I
Yeah,
think it's fucking
exactly.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think one of the things that, like, me and you talked about, even, like, back in the day when we were in bands and, like, playing music together and
Mhm.
stuff, we never wanted, we wanted to make it, but, like, it wasn't like we wanted to be millionaires or
Yeah.
billionaires. I was
Yeah.
like, if we could do this and, like, pay our bills
Yeah, like, that's the dream.
Yeah.
and just
You know, like-
and play music,
Yeah.
but have our bills paid for,
Mhm.
we'd be fine. We don't
Yeah.
need, like, freaking BMWs and, like, a mansion and,
Yeah.
and all this shit.
Mhm.
Like, if we could just pay our bills, play music, we're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah, man. Well, dude,
Here's the thing.
I mean, fuck, I don't want this thing to like cut out on us
Yeah.
or whatever. But I say we finish what you brought, like
I agree.
drink some of these beers, man,
I agree.
off camera or whatever the fuck. But
Oh, we're gonna pound some beers.
hell yeah, man.
I love
dude,
it. Thanks for having me on.
fucking thank you for getting on
Yeah,
here, man.
man.
It's been
It's
awesome,
been a
dude.
long time coming, dude.
Hell
I
yeah,
wanted
man.
to since I've been down in Georgia. but now I'm
Honestly,
close, so
this
like,
has
fuck
been
yeah.
very inspiring for me. Like,
yeah.
I love beer, and this makes me want to make beer.
you guys should
I
And, like,
Seriously.
reach out.